Hello, we're here again. It's Wednesday and it's episode 107. It's
I
almost
know.
sounded like the wrong one, but anyhow, as usual, is here, Delboy, and thank you so much as always for coming on. And well, it's always a pleasure. I say that. So I always ask this question, and I know you always have an answer, so which is great. You can always say something. So it is. What have you been watching? And is there anything that's come through, or what have you?
Yeah,
Anything?
yeah. The noises that you're hearing is obviously because I have to keep one phone on loud, but in
Yeah,
case anything happens to my mother, in regards to messages that my sister might send me or whatever. So apologies for
yeah,
that, but it will die down as we get past
yeah,
about 9 o'clock.
yeah.
But yeah, it's been a pretty good week so far. The sad news is that we've lost the carers for my mum, and that means it's just me and my sister. More about that in a blog. But what have I been watching? Well, I've watched what I can. There's a couple of good stuff in here that I've watched. There's a one real good title that's come through in the post that I've pre-ordered. So let's talk about the because everything is a film. It doesn't matter how you watch it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah,
It's about what you watched and what you thought of it, really.
yeah.
And yesterday, before I was falling asleep, I watched The Theory of Everything, which I think is a fantastic film. Eddie Redmayne is the main actor playing, Stephen Hawkins. From the moment he went to sort of like university, found his love, got diagnosed, with his horrible condition, all set, 60s all the way through. So technology was not around. So if anybody is watching this that's in the 2000s and you only ever remember Stephen Hawkins with that voice box and his highly technical chair, it wasn't like that. I can tell you that back in the day. And it's interesting how his mind worked because he had to come up with theories of things to continue being at the university. And when he came up with the good one that he wanted to do, he then had to disprove it. And that pretty much was his life, and, he was a big celebrator of Einstein and a lot of other people that split the atom and all of that. That's shown very early on in the film. Fantastic film. One that you can sort of like just start sitting thinking, oh, I'll watch this and I'll flit in and out. You can't. You're engrossed. It's like, wow, his wedding's there. The changing of the camera is done to show what type of cameras would have been used in that period of time. His relationships with his brothers, sisters, mum and dad, because until the film came along, you really knew very little of what they looked like. The father, the mother, the brothers, the sisters. It was always just him, wasn't it, really, and the way that he spoke. But he seemed like a good, fun type guy, which is probably why he was in The Big Bang Theory and all of that sort of stuff later on in his life. He was able to take a joke. You know what I mean? So that was great. One for you that was on TV. It was on ITV2, and I've seen it lots of times, and I've got my own copy of it, and that's June Part 1, the new one. I think all of us agree, really, that the second part was stronger than the first, but the first had to be good. The first had to be good for you to be able to go, right, I'm going to start making something else, Even though I think they greenlit it and started making it well before the film was released, I think they knew that they were on to a winner. And I think that they put actually more money into it while the first film was going out. If I remember rightly, that's how it worked. And so basically, you got a more expensive looking film in the second one. But the first one doesn't look cheap. I mean, it looks a bloody good film. I still prefer the 80s version. I always have. I will always state I read the books. I saw that the first time. I did see it on TV, split into two halves. I've seen extended versions. I wish I had the money to buy the one that came out in Australia. It looked like a really, really expensive release, but I don't have that sort of money. and I'd have been all over it last year. I would have been buying that. I'd have had it imported. It'd have been here. I'd have been going weird with my big box going, woo, look what I got, you bastard. Look, I got it better than you sod. You know, I'd be like that. But no, I haven't got that. Apparently the box has got sand in it. You turn it upside down.
It's a real brilliant.
It looks lovely. I think you can still get it because I don't think it's sold because of the price.
Well,
to be quite honest, the price of it is like, what am I doing? Am I buying shares in your company, or am I funding some sort of like new NASA mission to go to Mars or something? Because there's absolutely no chance that I'm going to be able to buy that. Now, on Rewind, just as I mentioned to Muckman, I do like watching stuff on the Rewind channel and the Talking Pictures channel. The Talking Pictures channel has got Caroline Munro on it, and she does her little double bill of horror type stuff on a Friday evening. On the Rewind channel was Countess Dracula. I won't need to talk too much about Countess Dracula because all you need to do is go back about 2 weeks in one of these live broadcasts or watch the What I Watched episode 167, and you'll be able to see and know exactly who's in it and what you thought of it and all of that sort of stuff in that particular episode. Because why do you need to listen to this old duffer talk about it when you got another old duffer that's actually done it for about 10 minutes in another video? And of course, it also promotes my friend Ian's channel. And I think that that's the best thing that you can do. One that's an absolute classic. They show it all the time. Every time it's on, I continue to watch it. It's The Producers. I love The Producers.
That's one of my favorites.
With Zemo in it and Springtime for Hitler and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm just knocked out every time I watch it. I wish sometimes that I'd seen it on the stage because they did a stage version about 10, 15, 20 years ago. And it was absolutely fantastic, I heard, and they changed all the major actors that were in it over a period of time, but some of them stayed all the way through it. It lasted a long time. That's because you've got to look at what a film is, and sometimes a film has got to be the story. It's got to have that idea, and that idea has got to stick all the way through it. And what a great idea. Let's oversell a theatre production and hope it closes down on the third day. We'll sell it 600 times, and we'll get the worst piece of shit that you could ever think about and put it on the stage. But the trouble is, you've got to watch and go, is this shit so funny? It's great. And that's the big problem that the people that are in The Producers have got, and it's just a classic, and I love it.
It is.
The last one I thought was a film, but actually it's an anthology. I was just talking to Ian. It was on Talking Pictures. It was called The Veil, and it had Boris Karloff in it. Apparently, because we were just talking about it before we came on, The Veil is an anthology series that was hardly ever broadcast and has hardly ever been shown since it first came out in 1958. We don't think it's out there on DVD or Blu-ray, but neither Ian and I have actually looked because we only talked about it 20 minutes ago. And you know how I love an anthology series. And what they've done with Talking Pictures is they've split it up into singular episodes. That's why I thought it was a film. It wasn't. It was just one of the episodes. There are 10 of them. I don't know how many of the 10 are actually still around because it is 1958 after all. And as we know, a lot of stuff gets junked, especially if it's black and white. It was a television thing. Boris Karloff is the narrator. How can you not watch something that's not narrated by Boris Karloff, for God's sake? I mean, that's, Rod Serling narrated his own stuff on The Twilight Zone, and what a fantastic narrator he was. And we've had other examples of this. We've even had David Bowie, haven't we, being a narrator, of an anthology. Started off as a film, turned into a TV series. So, The Veil, absolutely fantastic. Love that. Other than that, what's come? Not very much, as you know. I don't buy an awful lot at the moment. It's all what I can afford. I missed it the first time round, so I bought it this time, and that is the Steelbook of A Star Is Born, because even though I like the original, I think that the remake was pretty well. It was done pretty well. But my absolute class film that only came today, and I can't wait to watch it in 4K this week, and I will definitely be doing that and opening it up, is the 4K of Mona Lisa.
Oh, excellent.
An absolute class film. It's from Arrow, so it's going to be a pretty good set of stuff on there. I don't know if that's going to be picked up on there very much. Maybe you can freeze it you can watch it in the future. You know, so if you just freeze this video, you might be able to read that text. But it's an interesting artwork. It's him in a car looking in the wind mirror, and there she is in the back. She's a prostitute. Well, anyway, I won't go into it.
Yeah, it's a great it's a film I saw at cinema, actually. It's
one
really
I wanted to see at the cinema, but I never actually got right. It was one that Channel 4 showed.
Yes.
Back in the day, which is where I first saw it. And you know, absolutely amazing film. It's sort of one of those films that gripped me, and I went, right, I'm going to have that when it comes through on sell through. I bought it on VHS, I bought it on DVD, missed the Blu-ray release, bought it now on 4K. So you know, it's one of those things where if something wasn't released as a steelbook, I probably didn't get it, you know, type thing. You know, that stupid thing that I was doing where it had to be on steelbook, otherwise I weren't buying it, which is a stupid thing to do. And I rarely sort of stepped out of that sort of like window that I was in. Now I've bought a lot more Arrow and stuff. People have seen my collections of stuff in the past, you know, like True Romance and all of those. Those weren't steel books. So, you know, you see all that. So apologies. I've done mine pretty quickly. I know Ian's going to spend at least 40 minutes talking about Tony York Bloody Corner.
No, actually, I can honestly say there's no Tony York corner in what I'm going to
What's happened? Are you not very well? Has Tony dropped off a cliff and not sent you something? Has he run out of stamps?
I've got a lot of Tony York corner. Over weeks.
I love Tony York corner. It's one of my favourite bits, which is why I take the piss out of it so much. Tony York corner is something I look forward to. I cannot not have Tony York corner, Ian. It's part of this live broadcast. So you've got to change it next week. You've got to at least watch one DVD or something that Tony York has sent to you. It's as simple as that.
One this week, you know, because there's only, don't forget, I watch a lot after. You find that on Thursday and Friday, before I do my video on Saturday, there's quite a few things I managed to get in and watch. So anything's possible. Okay, so I'll start with this.
Just a quick one. An apology to Sai. I didn't able to get to the pictures to see what's it, Project Hail Mary? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
right. The window of opportunity closed when I was looking after my mum, but I phoned up the cinema, and all that's happening is where it was on their main screening window, they're keeping it for another. Well, I think it's a week and a half. So it's this half week left and another week, and screening it in their smallest theatre, which means that I've got another opportunity on Saturday to see it. So I told my sister this and said, look, come on, I've got to have a life. And she agreed, and she's, you know, she sort of like knows, excellent. You know, I've been... both me and my sister work out like this. While I'm not at work, I say to her, you don't have to come till 10 o'clock. The carers are here. If you need to go home early, then of course I'm always here. Just go. And she's just come out of an operation, so I hope she actually accepts that. Now that the carers are gone, she's got to come back at 8:30, and she now has to leave at 5, which is an hour later than it was before. So that means that she's now making up all those other times. But I did say to her, look, if you think that we can change my mum at 4:30 instead of 5 o'clock, then you can still get home a little bit earlier. it will still be you're here half an hour later, but it's not like it's a huge leap to go from 8:30 to 4 to 8:30 to 4:30. But we won't know how long my mum has got to sit in a pad for 12 hours then the next day to see whether she's totally soaked or whatever. So we have to be very careful with this. So we've tried it today, and we'll see how my mum is in the morning. So everything else is just looking after my mum. So of course I'll make sure that if that doesn't work, then we'll go back to she can't leave until 5. You know, it'll be just one of those things. But I can't see how half an hour can make much of a difference. I'm one of those type of people.
Yeah,
she'd have to come back at 7 o'clock for it to make any change whatsoever to things. So as you know, I'll have to leave in about 5-10 minutes just to check on my mum. But I'm interested to know a little preview of what I watched episode 262 is going to have at the end of this week. So
it's only a preview. It won't be everything.
Sure. In fact, actually, you miss a trick here. You could cut the bit out from this live stream, right? And you could actually do that and just put a thumbnail to it and say, here you are, this is what I watched.
Well,
right? Because really, this is the preview to that episode. So let's have this preview then.
But I'll try not to go on as long if I go on to try and not make as much detail. Okay, so the first one is I was looking on my shelves like you do, and I thought, wow, I haven't seen that for a long time. And it's an absolute 60s classic, this is a real 60s classic film that I think most people will enjoy. And I can say this I think I can. It's a film that is just outstanding, and it's got an outstanding actor. It's got Gregory Peck, and it is To Kill a Mockingbird from 1962. This is a brilliant film. It's one where we did the book at school. A lot of people
That's right.
did the book at school, and then when you see the film, you think, God, this book, the Atticus is Gregory Peck, and in one of the extras in here, he saw. I think the author did actually write the book with him in mind when they actually did the film of it. And it's his best role he ever did. He says it's his finest moment, and this is a great film. It's funny, the director Robert Milligan never really had a big success after this. Summer of 42 he did in 71, but the other stuff is not really much. But this is just so outstanding, and the cast, the kids are absolutely fantastic in this. And the guy who plays Tom Robinson, the accused man, is an interesting actor I was looking at, which was Brock Peters. He was in films that I've actually mentioned before. He was in The L-Shaped Room. Remember, I did talk about that one, which is one of kitchen sink drama from 1962. And he was in Major Dundee, which was a Charlton Heston film, which is absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, another Charlton Heston film. He was in Solient Green. Is it Solient Green? I mean, what a film that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, this film, I won't go into too much detail, so I'll save it for my, my video when I do it. But if nobody's not seen this, you should see it. It's almost a film that people need to see. I don't say that about many films because we've all got different tastes in terms of films.
Yeah.
It's such a good film. It's such an important film, it seems to me, of the 60s. I really enjoyed that.
And of course, the book is great, but I'll tell you what, the way you were building that up, you said, I went along my shelves. I haven't been along this shelf in years and years. And you know what? I was thinking of this bookshelf, right? That when you pulled the book back, the DVD back, a secret passage would appear, and you go in there, and it's like an Indiana. And I was thinking that this bookshelf must be covered with cobwebs and dust, and you had to go along with it. You had to dust it all afterwards, and about 6 inches of dust fell off of the shelf, and all of this sort of stuff. You were building it. You were building it up. You were building it up that much.
But it'd be a good if you got whisked into the bookshelf with the film, and so it's like a Narnia wardrobe, you know.
Well, yeah.
And you get inside the bookshelf and go with the film, and then go and watch the
Ian
film.
the Witch and the Wardrobe. You know, there you go.
You could do that. So my next film's inevitable. I always pick a Hammer film, and I think this is actually possibly my favorite Dracula film that Hammer did. It's one that people might know as well. It's Taste the Blood of Dracula. I just fancied something that I knew I'd really enjoy. This one is absolutely brilliant. It's got, as usual, Christopher Lee just being fantastic. And he actually I was watching very carefully. They actually decided he better start saying a few more lines. So he does actually talk a bit more in this.
Isn't there a documentary where he talks about this, saying that about Dracula and the fact he's like mute pretty much in the early ones, and that it wouldn't be like that, and that he dialogue needed to be added, because he was always talking about how Dracula was portrayed, and that he kept saying, "I'm not going to do another one unless you change this," and all that.
You start to have more input, I think, into the character, and they did, I think, start to listen. I think this is one of my favourites because I like it. It's Victorian society looking at, really, and you've got these three people, the three blokes who have these respectable images with their marriage and what have you. But they go out and have a bit of excitement with Ralph Bates plays this Lord Courtney. Ralph Bates, great actor for that period. I won't go into too much about him, but you can see it on my video on Sunday. I've always liked this because it's an easy access one of Hammer to get into, and you can really enjoy it and what happens, you know, to the characters. I love that when they basically, it starts off the film, and you've got Roy Kinnear in the film, and he's the one that gets the blood. He sees Dracula being impaled, and he all shrinks, and he grabs the cloak and he takes some blood. And then he thinks, I'll be able to sell that maybe at some time, you know, get a lot of money. And that eventually leads to them meeting him and him selling it. And it all works from there. But I won't go into it anymore. But this is, if you were into picking a Dracula film from Hammer, this is a really good one to pick, I think. Yeah. It's easy access, but so enjoyable.
So I'm just now got to that pause. I'm not gonna turn my camera off so that you'll know I'm back. I'm just gonna go and check on my mum. I need to check on her once more tonight, and then that'll be it. Yeah, and I'll only be gone 5 minutes.
Yeah. I've just got one more. It won't take me long, but don't worry. You carry on. So the final film that I'm gonna show you is this one. This is called Die Screaming Marianne. It's from 1971. It's a sort of British crime thriller, but it's produced and directed by Peter Walker. Peter Walker, it's produced, so he put quite a lot of his own finance and money into this, and directed by him. He's very much one of these cult kind of directors who became quite notorious. Like, particularly, I remember him doing The House of Whipcord. It's a film that I used to see sometimes late night. I think it'd be in the 70s, and it's a kind of a very strange film, House of Whipcord. Well, he directed and wrote that. And And also there's the other one, which is the Flesh and Blood Show, 1972, and Frightmare. Frightmare is very good. That's 1974. And this was somebody who was obviously very passionate about what he did. And of course, as you can see on this cover, who's that on the cover? It's, of course, Susan George. We've got another Susan. You must be thinking he keeps bringing Susan George out, because last week I brought her out twice on 2 films. And here she is again. But you can't help but love Susan George. This is just being Susan George. What else more can I say? But the other interesting characters in this, actors, is we've got Barry Evans. Now, Barry Evans, if you was into sort of TV, you would know him in terms of Doctor in the House and Mind Your Language, which I kind of like. Mind Your Language. I know it's probably not a very correct thing to say, but I quite like Mind Your Language. Well, he's in that, but he had this, when this film came out, I think this is nearly his debut. I think this must be about his second film, second or third film. And he was a new actor, and they liked him. They thought, well, yeah, he could do well in this. And he was given a chance, and he did well. There was he also was one of those actors who got involved in sort of films that are now not looked at as very good. Like he did Adventures of a Taxi Driver, which is like, I think it's like a rip-off of the Confession films, which were pretty bad anyhow. As we know, the Confession films were bad, but he did more of this Adventures of a Taxi Driver. I think he did one about a plumber's mate or something like that. They were really poor rip-offs. So in terms of his film career, isn't outstanding, but in this one, he's pretty good. It's really a sort of a crime drama, sort of set in Portugal, and with a London setting, and the Portuguese setting really improves it. Oh, and also another tactic was they brought over an older actor to sort of give it gravitas, so they could pick up pretty cheap, who plays this character with the original name of the judge. This bloke goes back to, as an actor, 1950, Wooden Horse, and he goes on and does all sorts of stuff and pops up here and there. I think his last film, I think, was Vampira, 1974, but he sort of adds a sort of older element into it. But I think it's a cult classic film. The music, it's got, if I played the soundtrack, you would know it was the 70s. You would know the music. It's got that style, and the way it's filmed, it's got that style. But I think because they were able to go out on location, they've added so much more to the film. It's an absolute classic of this sort of genre. I think absolutely. And I say Susan George, and usually anything she does, you can't help but enjoy. She's always good, though. She really is. I think she's good in it. And yeah, so he is the kind of actor, Pete Walker, that is well worth having a look at. Definitely some of his stuff. Yeah, we know what it's like, but sometimes this sort of exploitative kind of cult cinema is good for its time, for its period. And yeah, so that's it. I won't go on too much. I could have gone on more. I probably will next time about it, but that was very enjoyable. I totally enjoyed it. Yeah, so he's just coming back, and we're getting on to comments. So we'll start with the comments now. right at the beginning.
I was thinking of a challenge, right? When I was going away, and I was thinking, do you know what? I got a challenge, right? Muckman movies. Do your top 60s films, and it can't have anything bloody foreign in it. There you are. There's a bloody challenge for you. Six top 10 60s films, and it ain't got Korean, Hong Kong, France, any of your other than England and America, right? What's your? No, I'm only joking. I just thought I haven't done something for Muckman for ages, and he knows how much I love him. So, and I've told everybody that I only take the piss out of people that I really love. And I thought, I've got to do something for Muckman, and I couldn't think of anything else. What a great lot of pickups, by the way, that he did in his last video. Did you see he had The Handmaid's Tale? I haven't opened mine yet, and he opened his, and what a lovely case that is. I showed it off, didn't I? And I thought, oh, look, it's a bit weird. Look, it's upside down, all of this sort of stuff. And and he actually showed the, the slip cover and how beautiful it looks and all of that sort of stuff. I'm really looking forward to watching it. Actually, Wee Bob Art told me that I'd really enjoy the film, but he didn't think that it'd be a film that I'd watch multiple times. It's a little bit, I think he said it's sort of is like The Sixth Sense, in that retrospect. Once you've seen the ending, you're probably not going to watch it for a couple of years. That's not deterred me. I'm still going to watch it and hopefully enjoy it. So anyway, you carry on. Let's get the comments out of the way. Yeah. I've got my little dig of Muckman in. So let's go.
I still might do a 60s top 10.
Your top 10 of 70s was very engrossing, to be quite honest. Because
it's quite a bit of effort, and I just want to rest from it. But I still am totally giving up.
I mean, obviously. How you could not have Star Trek the motion picture not number one, I do not know. But anyway, number 3. I was going number 3. You having a laugh? Are you having a?
Say in it that I could swap them around, and it's true.
Yes, you did. Yeah,
and don't forget Suspiria, Exorcist. I mean, they're equal. They are equal to it.
Yeah,
I think so. Not everybody would agree with us though. About
it was an interesting top 10, and I could have easily have swapped out one of yours for something here and there.
Yeah, I would have put The Omen in. The Omen. I mean, how could I not put that in? But I had to make some choices.
Oh, we had Superman in the 70s. We had we had
Star Wars. I didn't put Star Wars in.
Yeah. But admittedly, if people don't look, it is my top 10 70s, not the top 10 70s of all time, and blah blah blah. And I've done this based on viewing figures, box office receipts, all of that sort of crap bollocks. It's what you personally like about it. It's not anything else.
I wanted to try, and I think with anything, you want to try and put not the obvious ones in. Oh, you do put the obvious ones in, maybe, but you do try and at least try and put one or two that are a bit different. I think a 60s one will be interesting because a lot of people have certain images of the 60s, and there's certain films like I know once. As soon as I thought at 60s, I already had about 4 or 5 films already in my head that would be in there, right from the year 1960 as one of the best films that I can actually think. It could even be the number one. I don't know, but it's a good decade, the 60s. There's some real, if you start thinking about it.
When you, I'll tell you what, just to do a very interesting thing. When somebody says 60s films, what's the first film that came into your head when you said it? Go on, tell me.
The film The Time Machine, straight away 60s. And then,
you know what? It's really weird, and it's not a film that I generally watch or anything. But the first film that came into my mind when you said 60s films was Alfie.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, there you
Maybe
are.
it's because
Yeah.
maybe it's because of the main theme, what's it all about, Alfie, and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. I don't know, but when somebody says the 70s, so usually what happens when somebody gives you a spark thing and says, right, I want you to do your top 10 70s films. The first thing, there'll be one film that comes straight to your forehead, and it's not generally one that you'll probably even have in it.
Yeah.
It's probably a sign of the times of that particular era, and for some unknown reason, Alfie comes to mind.
I think that's a very good shout.
It's not a film that I generally would put anywhere in it. I mean, my God.
But you see, it's interesting that I put Bond as very 60s. For me, Bond is 60s, and therefore I'm going to choose something. Normally, I possibly would have said, well, I still might, You Only Live Twice, because it was the first Bond film I saw. But I recognize that Goldfinger is such an outstanding film.
It's iconic.
And if you're going to put top 10 60s, I think Goldfinger possibly would be in there.
I would say the audience that we've got in here at the moment, and I know we don't have an awful lot of numbers and everything. Whenever somebody mentions Goldfinger, and if you think of the toy line, everybody I think knows of the the DB5? Was it the DB5 then? The little dinky or corgi toy dinky, I think it was, with the ejector scene.
Corgi, dinky, they're all fantastic.
But everybody knows that when that film came out, that toy line came out, and I think every kid had it. I had it as a kid. And I mean, my dad was buying me toys, when I was probably about 5 or something. So that toy would have been 10 years old, and he was still able to buy the damn thing.
Yeah.
He bought me obviously later on things like Captain Scarlet's SPV and all of that sort of stuff. I think Dinky. Was it? Can you remind me? Was it Dinky that came out with the Starship Enterprise with the circular spinning disc thing? Was it, or was it Corgi?
I don't know. I think it could be Dinky.
Because it had the little Galileo spaceship, and it stood on its little stand with the wings that came out at the bottom.
Dinky were never. There's something about a dinky car, isn't there, or a model, which is different from the Corgi ones. There are differences. You can tell the way they're made and the way they are.
I actually noticed it on the paint job.
Yeah. But the dinky ones are perhaps the most valuable ones. If anybody's got any original boxed dinky cars, they are you sat on a fortune if you're in good condition. And also the Space 1999 ones,
Eagle,
they're worth a fortune as well. I'd love to indulge in that.
The UFO ones I remember the most because it had the truck vehicle with the swinging top. Top, and it obviously had the UFO interceptor with the big missile on the front, and the big long spring mechanism pull string that was underneath it.
It's interesting how the talk of the 60s has sparked off all these childhood things for me. And maybe that's why I will get round to doing a film things, because there is so many influential films in the 1960s. And of course, Tony York's favourite film, I would include in that as well. And Tony, you know what that is, Zulu. I mean, that is such a big, influential 60s film.
Yeah.
You can't help but talk about that, The other thing is, when I got onto the 70s, I'd put in a lot of films that I missed out. And then afterwards, I was thinking, crikey, I should have put Get Carter in. Why did I put that in?
Christ,
I was thinking, but then I thought, you see, I put The Godfather in, and then I realized, that's such a great film. The 70s, I think it's because of me being who I am, is my favorite period. And there's some great films. I mean, I didn't put the disaster films, Towering Inferno.
Well, you mentioned The Godfather, but I'm really interested in that in Muckman movies. What he picked up, that Korean or Japanese, I can't quite remember, Godfather trilogy.
Oh yeah,
that he showed up as a boxer. I went, there's a Godfather film that they did, bloody hell, and it's a trilogy.
Yeah.
I'm really interested now. He piqued my interest, and I was going, oh, do you know what? If I only had the money, do you know what? I'd probably pick that up, you know.
Yeah.
You know, because I love the Godfather, and I'd love to know what their rendition of it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's another little advert for that bastard. I mean, for that lovely man. Sorry.
Yeah. And I also picked in my mind, as when I was thinking at 60s, I picked in my head, I thought, crikey, that is such an influential horror film as well. But I'm not going to say where. I think people would probably know, but there's the 60s is just as good as the 70s, you know, even though I'm probably more just 70s, because 70s, but 60s is really good. Anyhow, let's get on with comment.
Anyway, I'll be advertising Muckman again in my blog, the bastard. You know, so he'll get another plug later on.
Anyhow, we've got Wee Bob Art saying evening all, good evening, welcome. And then we've got Rocket Bunny saying, hey Bob, how goes it? And then it goes quite well, Rocket. How are you? And then Don't Sub, hello. And he said, Bob, and Rocket
he still
Bunny.
makes me laugh with that name, Don't Sub.
Yeah, I know. And then we've got Sai saying, evening, gang. Good evening. Welcome.
Sai, my favourite northerner. Next to Ian.
Yeah.
20th Century Gaming. And shit, I shouldn't have said that. Christ, I've got too many northerners alike.
Slipknot says hello. Hello, Slipknot. Welcome. And then Don't Sub says hi, Sai. And
bloody hell, how many highs are we going to have? Jesus.
Slipknot says, Sai, how's it going? It's going all right, I would imagine. And then Rocket Bunny, Wee Bob, not bad, thanks. Bit cold though. Oh, don't tell. I know what I mean. I'm being stubborn and not putting the heating on, even though it's been almost freezing in the evenings. I totally agree. I wouldn't. I will not put the heating on. It's May. I was
hoping, by the way, that I'd get a game in with Rocket, you know, this week.
Yeah.
I've been online a little bit. I was hoping he might get in touch. It's my own fault, really, because I need to go back through our old messages. I've got his phone number and that, and I really need to sort of like say, oh, you sod, are you not ignoring me or what? Right? Because there was a couple of times that I could have got an hour or two in. You know, I couldn't sleep. No, I saw he was playing. What was he playing? He was playing Conan the Exiles or something.
Oh.
I should have, but I didn't want to interrupt him, really, to be quite honest. But anyway.
And then Sai says, hi, Wee Bob, Rocket Bunny, Don't Sub, and Slipknot. And then Slipknot saying, Game says, yo. Slipknot says, and Rocket Bunny, good evening, gents. Thank you. And the rest of chat. Thank you for being called a gent. Yes.
Oh, we're a toilet now. We're a toilet now, are we?
He's going
what he's trying to say.
Yeah. And Wee Bob, like, good evening, they're all saying. And then Slipknot, what a great idea. I think I've got a few beers in the bottom of the fridge. I'll go and get one. There you are. Doing okay. How about yourself? Slipknot says. And then Muckman Jamie says, good evening, Peter and Christopher. Well, there we are. Thank you, good Jamie, for joining us. And
look, first 9 bloody bases on these people. Who the bloody hell's Peter and Christopher, right? Everybody's going, what? Hey, who? He's just such a name dropper. He is such a name dropper. I know people personally. Go on.
Oh dear. And then he says, "Good evening, chat. Good evening, Jamie." And Sai says, "Hi, Jamie." And then Slipknot says, "Wrong money. I've got some Korean soju." Soju?
He's doing that just to make it so that you have to say it and you make a pig's ass of it. That's what he's doing that for.
Soju. I don't know. What is it? What is
No,
that?
he's telling Rocket Bunny, I'm going to have a drink.
Oh, okay. So
he's got
right.
some Korean
It's a
soju.
Korean drink. Yes, I get you. And then David Marshall. Hello, David. Evening, everyone.
Hello, David. The old
Thank you for joining us. And then Wee Bob says, evening, a beer sounds good, but I will refrain and have one tomorrow night when thankfully my working week ends. Oh, you'll be looking forward to that then. And then
hang on a minute. So there we are, all working our bloody socks off. He gets to Thursday and says, sod you lot, I'm having a bit of a time off, and starts drinking beers. What? It's not a 4-day, 3-day week, you know. We're not in the bleeding 70s again, right? What the hell's going on here?
No, it's fine.
He knows full well that I know he works bloody hard. He does a little sod, really. So there we go.
And then Mugman was at eyesight. Seen another good at your swanky cinema last week?
I think he means, have you seen another good?
Anything good? Yeah, another
cinema?
good. Yeah. And then Slipper says, good evening, Muckman. Wee Bob says, I have my eye on the Labyrinth box set, but wait until I get paid before I pre-order. Oh, right.
Yeah, because I think one of the channels, I watch a lot of film ones, and ones that I mention an awful lot and ones that I don't, and the ones that I don't mention too much is things like that mid something matters movies, you know,
mid media.
I think he was talking about this, and he was saying, do you know what, I've got this so many times, I've got a funny feeling this will be one that you could probably buy in a sale, it'll be half price in a couple of months time. I'm pretty sure he said that about Labyrinth. Because it's Labyrinth and Dark Crystal that are coming out, isn't it? I think.
I don't know.
And I think he said about both of them. I think he said that he was interested. They looked deluxe and that, but he didn't think that they'll sell.
Oh.
So I might wait and hold on that one, because obviously I've got Labyrinth and Dark Crystal as steel books, and they do look really nice though.
Yeah.
The bits that are in it, but we'll see. See what my cash is like.
Yeah. Slipknot says Talking Pictures is great. I know you mentioned that a lot.
Great channel. It's a great channel.
Sai says, Jamie, I went to see on Saturday for a few dollars more, and last night I watched Shogun Assassin. Oh, brilliant.
So when you went on Saturday, right? Did you get a few dollars more than than you were expecting? Or, you know, did you just get what you were expecting money wise?
He's trying. He's trying. He really is trying. It's a trying experience.
I went to the pictures for a few dollars more, but they went to the pictures for a few dollars more, but they only had it in pounds.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I'm here next week, folks. Don't worry. Go on.
Hello, Slipknot says to David Marshall. And then Sai says, oh, and I'm going on Sunday to watch The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. He's really putting the boat out.
Yeah.
He really is pushing it out.
Is he taking is he taking two friends, and then if you got to name yourselves, one the good, the other one the bad, and one the ugly? Is that how it works? Right. You got to go with two friends to make it work. Right. Well, and which one are you? Are you the good? Are you the bad? Or are you the ugly? Right. I don't think anybody wants to be the ugly one, do they? I mean, I'll be ugly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick my hand up, you know.
And then Jamie says, amazing sign, both bangers. Oh, right. And then Muckman Movie says, hi, Slipknot. And then we've got David saying, Ian, I bought The Bells Go Down on Vintage Collection Blu-ray about the London Fire Service during World War II. James Mason and Tommy Trinder played the main characters. Have you seen it? No, I'm fascinated. No, I've not seen it. That sounds really good. And it's interesting. Tommy Trinder was like a comedian, wasn't he?
He was.
In that era.
Yeah.
And of course, anything with James Mason has to be good. But I've not seen that. If it's on that vintage collection, I certainly want to get more of those.
Did he make a bad film, James Mason? I suppose we ought to put our hands up and say, do you know what? I don't know if I could name a bad film with James Mason in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Even when he's in not a major role, it's still good, isn't it?
Because you keep saying that James Mason, he didn't make a bad film. I'm going, hang on a minute. How many films did he come out with? And how many films have you watched of those? And how many can you actually turn around and say that every single one's a corker, you know?
I haven't seen everyone. I think most people would know that. But what I've seen, I like, you know, I mean, I'm sure you've not seen every Jimmy Stewart film, have you?
James, no, I suppose.
I know you're a big fan of him.
I've seen Jack Lemmon's.
Have you seen every Jack Lemmon film?
I looked at the IMDb and went down it once.
Oh, right. So you did watch them all. Well, that's good. No, that's really good to do that, you know, especially if they've got quite a lot of work.
And three quarters of them I have on physical media.
That's even better. Yeah. See, I like James Mason, but I've not got you know, a stack of his work, you know. Yeah. Actually, it's made me think I must watch Salem's Lot again. Yeah.
Well, I bought that a couple of weeks back. You saw my box set of that.
Yeah. It's a good. That is one of the best TV sort of mini series, because that's what it was, wasn't it? It's one of the best.
I wondered sometimes, you know, whether they did do a cinema release, didn't they?
Yeah,
it was awful. It was awful.
Yeah, but it was a mini series. I remember it being shown on
the first time that was shown on BBC One. They showed it over a bank holiday. You know,
it was great. I watched it. I loved it.
It was either on a Sunday and a Monday, or it was on a Saturday with Sunday off, and you watched the last one on the Monday, and then you went back to school. For me, anyway, when that came in.
Yeah, I think one of the selling points I think they did was David Soul really in it.
Oh yeah,
because of his Starsky and Hutch thing.
Yeah, for definite.
I mean, people forget how big that series was. Starsky and Hutch was absolutely massive at its time. It was one of the shows, wasn't it? That was.
Oh yeah,
it was massive.
Everybody knew the theme tune.
Yeah.
Although saying that, no, there is a debate over which theme tune is the best, and I still say the first season is the best because it's Lalo Schifrin. But the main theme is not Lalo Schifrin's. That's from season 2 onwards, and they just made variations of it through the rest of the seasons.
Yeah.
It was always the same, but it was just changed slightly. I still prefer the harder edged Lalo Schifrin.
Yeah.
Or the first one. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about that.
Says, Bob, I just pre-ordered the Steelbook of Labyrinth.
Yeah.
There you are. You talked about that already, didn't you?
Well, there's a box set and there's a Steelbook, and I don't think the Steelbook is in the box one. The design of the Steelbook of Labyrinth is much better than the one that came out several years ago, so I can understand that for definite. Right. Much more intricate design on the new one.
And then Si says next week they're screening I Saw the Devil. Oh right, I'm really looking forward to seeing it on the big screen. Wow, that you absolute treats seeing all these films. And then Tony says, here he is. Evening, Ian, Del and Chat. Good evening. You've probably heard the insults already, Tony.
No. I mean, I'm turning around and saying, "Oi, you're late, you bastard."
Say, there you are.
And he wonders why he hasn't got a spanner next to his name anymore. It's because you keep coming in about 25 minutes later than anybody else, you miserable bastard. Right, anyway, carry on.
What can I say? I'm sorry, Tony. We have to put up every week with it. And then Rocket Bunny says, "Hey, Tony, corner all ready as usual." It's ready half of the time. It's become a weekly thing. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, Tony York corner. It's set in stone now.
Yeah. Even though it was rather disappointing this week, there wasn't one.
Yeah. Bloody hell's going on?
And then Tony says, "Hi, Si." And then Rocket Bunny says, "And cheers all." And then Tony, "I'm eagerly anticipating my Dell mini rant." Well, there you are. You see, you've had it. And then he says, "There it was, no corner." Ah,
yeah.
Right. And Rocket Bunny says, "And right on cue." And then Slipknot says, "That Star Trek artwork is amazing." It is.
Thanks very much.
Wonderful. You can't beat a bit of the motion picture. You can't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Just love it. No Tony Hawk corner. Has hell frozen over? Whoa! Yeah, don't worry. It's bound to make reappearances. You know, fans of the Tony York corner.
I could actually be in the corner, right? Next time you do Tony York corner, right? You could be there talking about it, and I'll do all the and we are sorry that we cannot return your part work back to you, but we are most happy that you have brought this stuff to us, and see you next week. Because that's Vision On, wasn't it? I could be the person doing all the hand gestures for the people.
Normally your hand gestures end up with fingers and things like that. And
we are sorry that we cannot return to you your artwork. But
that's what we get, and the occasional bastard in between as well. So I mean, it's all lovely stuff, isn't it?
We can't return the artwork, but we will be.
And then the Captain Birdseye jokes, and oh dear,
Santa. Yeah.
Oh dear. Those. I didn't know if fish had fingers. Did you? Anyway, that's an old joke. Yeah.
Bloody hell. You think my jokes are bad? Jesus Christ, man! What? Fish don't have fingers. What's that all about?
They're saying sub to Tony. Slipknot says, and then Slipknot says, "Hi, Slip." And then we've got Si saying, "Hopefully you'll enjoy Project Hail Mary. It would be hilarious if you really hate it." He won't hate it. He won't. It would be funny.
Well, it's set now, so I'm going to be able to talk. I'm going to be able to talk about it next week. So be something to look forward to.
I know he won't hate it. Yeah.
No, that's incredibly doubtful, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Good. Because I mean, he wouldn't be wasting his money if he knew it was bad. I'm really bad. Then he wouldn't go. I mean, I'd do the same. If you know a film's going to be really bad, then you won't go. You won't go and waste your money. Even though I always say
back in the 80s, I saw anything, right? But no, I couldn't do it now. Jeez,
but on the other hand, you know, we know that there are films that people have been very negative about, and we've seen them, and then thought, well, actually, I quite enjoyed that, you know. So it can work. But then there are other films like that Joker 2, which I've not seen. I had to switch it off when I watched a bit of it. That one, people were right.
It's got musical numbers in it and things.
It's just awful. It don't work at all. It's just terrible. You know. Now I know there will be people. I bet somebody in this thing will say it's not too bad. Well, maybe.
Yeah, but do you remember just Joshings? You know, I mean, our friend Josh. You know, it was through the lens. It was for a long time. He turned around and said, "This will divide people. There will be some people that will defend it to the end of the earth, and there'll be other people saying, 'What's this bag of shit that I'm watching?'"
Well, I think if you're a Lady Gaga fan, you might.
Oh
say,
wow, yeah.
Oh yeah, I really like it, and she is. I'm not actually. She is a talented singer as well as being a good actress. I think she is good. Yeah.
Star is Born, isn't it? That I got.
Yeah, but for me, it just didn't work in the film. I don't know, but and it divides opinion, doesn't it?
Well, the first film had a sort of Taxi Driver vibe to it, didn't it? I mean, the second one.
The first film was very, very good. It's almost like you was expecting something brilliant, and then as soon as you heard what they'd done, you thought, "Oh no, what have they done?" But maybe that's what they deliberately did. It was deliberate, you know. There we are. And then Tony says, David, did you enjoy Bells Go Down? Heard of it, not seen it, never been a Trinder fan, to be honest. No, I know what you mean. I've probably not been a Tommy. He was popular in that era, but I wouldn't put him as a big fan of his kind of comedy.
Yeah.
You can sort of put him with sort of Arthur Askey and all those of that era, which, you know, they don't seem that funny to us nowadays. And I remember seeing like Arthur Askey on that what do you call it? A Good Old Day thing. He used to appear on that.
Oh yeah.
And you wondered, you know, people. He had a couple of catchphrases, and then people were hilariously laughing, and you were going, "Oh." You know, but at that era, he must have been funny, but he wasn't. And then we've got Jamie saying Delboy has a great top there. Hey, top.
Hey,
tip. He made a mistake. I know it's the text. Don't worry. I know the text is a bloody nuisance.
But what was my tip? That was about 40 minutes ago. I don't know what the bloody hell I said.
I don't know. Perhaps he's been down to tip, but I can't remember a tip.
I don't know what the tip was, but I'm always eager. I'm always eager to give some tips. If
perhaps he was chucking it away in plastic bags.
I don't know.
I don't know what tip it was. I can't remember you giving tips out. No, I don't know. Anyhow,
I remember.
You might do, yeah. And then Slipper says, "Are you guys fans of the original Papillon with Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman?" I think you can see. I bet both of us will have similar answers.
Oh yeah. And you'll see that I gave a little bit of an answer a bit later on, because it gives me my interesting thing that I can turn around and say is, what a great Jerry Goldsmith score is in that bloody Papillon. I mean, my God, Jerry Goldsmith, what a man, eh? I mean, what a score that is as well. I mean, it's in the top 10 scores of Jerry Goldsmith. Yes, great film, great soundtrack.
And it doesn't go on too long. I heard people complaining that it's too long a film. It's not. It's
no.
You know,
I've never turned around and said that film's a bloody long film. My bum ache.
You know how it is with some people. I don't think probably they've seen it. They've probably not watched it. They probably think, "Oh God, look at the length of that film. I'm not watching that. It's going to be boring." It's not. It's just engaging. Once you get into it, it just it's brilliant, and and to me it's an epic. It's an epic done in a quieter way, if you see what I mean. It's It's such a wonderful film.
It's not like those epics, David Lean epics, but it's an epic.
Oh, but exactly. It's what I mean is it's still in that. It's the time period. You know, how they age and
would that be in your top 10 70s? I mean, you've done the 70s. I mean,
do you know, I did think about it when I did my list.
What I was trying to get at was, did it come to mind when you were doing your research?
I don't think it could. I honestly, as I said, the 70s, I probably couldn't have thought of about 50 films at least. I love the 70s. Honestly, the 70s has just got so many great films I didn't put in. Just love the 70s. It's great. But that is, it's what can I say about it? Yeah, and it's something I should get. I haven't got a physical media copy. I should get a copy of that because it's definitely worth getting. Rocky Boy said I was genuinely looking at Del's shirt there to see what was special about it. And then he's put, so was I, Rocket. Yeah.
It just shows how I'll tell you what, that just shows how gripping they are looking at the text rather than us talking about stuff, right? They're just looking at the chat all the time. They're not bothering about us at all. They've come here just to talk, just look at the text going up and down. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing, Ian. We're redundant. They just want the chat bit.
Oh dear. And then Del, he's all right. Papillon. Well, we all know compose that film score. Yeah. We know. Papillon is in my top 10 of the 70s. There you are. Yes. Yeah. And then Rocket Boy says, well, I've been having a bit of a 90s, 2000s box set binge since last week. Watched all the Matrix films and up to the 5th Harry Potter film, all in 4K. They look great.
I mean, is The Matrix a 1999 film? I thought it was a 2000 film.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the Harry Potter films were all 2000. The Matrix, I bought that on DVD. And I'm pretty sure I bought it in the year 2000, so it could be a 1999 film.
I think it is 90. It could just be 1999. Yeah, it could be. I have to say, I didn't bother with it.
I was going to ask him what was the 90s film. You see, I was going to ask him. You see, I was going,
I just loved the first film so much. It seemed to overshadow the others.
What, Matrix?
Yeah,
the Matrix. That first film blew me away.
Yeah, it did. I think it blew a lot of people away because it was.
I imported that from America. That film on DVD. Yeah.
But the other, I suppose it was so great. The other two were always going to be disappointing.
It was a gold. Believe it or not, it was a gold disc that I got.
Oh.
I hadn't seen a gold DVD disc at that particular time, and it had one of those copy protections on it that said, even when I bought it, had a sheet of paper in it, and it said, "This may not play in your player, and you may need to do a firmware upgrade."
Oh.
And I think there was a big hoo-ha about it because a lot of people were buying it in the States and they couldn't play it. And they returned them all. They all returned them all to Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was just going. I was just going. Oh, I wonder what other 90s films, because I thought The Matrix was 2000, but I think no, it was a 1999 film, and it was a 2000 DVD disc.
Yeah.
But I don't try and, because he's put down here, he's trying to catch me out. I don't try and catch people out. It's just I'm interested to know what 90s films he's watching, because he's mentioned two great sets of films.
Yeah.
Only The Matrix is on the edge of the 90s. So I wonder what other 90s films. I'd love to know what other 90s films you did, Rocket Bunny, because some of the 90s films out there are obscure to a lot of people. They're obscure. You know, you could mention things like, I don't know, Black Rain, or you could mention Broken Arrow or something, and I don't know, some people might go, never heard of that. You know what I mean? There was so much in the 90s that had titles that just don't stick in your head as being anything. Do you know what I mean?
Mind you, I'm sure if you start looking at what was released, you'll find it in all decades. Even in the 2000s, you're going to find some great films. There's always been great films released. It's just that some eras we tend to be more nostalgic about and think are possibly better eras because we've got an emotional attachment to that era, whereas later ones are not.
Because all I was getting at is that I can mention films like Copycat, or I could mention Outbreak, and some people might be going, "What were they?"
Well, Copycat is a good one.
Or Sphere.
Yeah.
Or, you know, things
there's
like
always
this that people
something.
might go, he's mentioning titles that sound alien to me. What the bloody hell is he going on about? You know?
Yeah.
When actually they were all like summer blockbusters, all of those that I've just mentioned. I mean, Copycat was dwarfed by Seven. We all know this.
Was Sphere dwarfed by Abyss?
Yeah, it's all that sort of stuff.
That's it. A lot of people thought it was a rip-off of Abyss, didn't they? Yeah, Sphere.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then Rocket Bunny says, I pity my neighbors, though. I wonder what that's in connection with something. I don't know. Sorry.
I pity his neighbours anyway. I mean, he's got to live. I mean, there he is. They've all got to live next to this Rocket Bunny fella, and he's the right pain in the ass. And all of his neighbours are going, "Oh, don't talk about him."
Oh yeah. Now I want to know a bit more about this. It's a film I've heard people mention as a controversial film, but he hasn't said any more. But we'll see. So far, he says, "I watched the coffee table tonight, and I watched the oven and the fridge." But no, I was going
to say, I watched my coffee table tonight, right? And I really have got to get rid of that coffee stain on it. It's got a ring there, right? And I've been meaning to get rid of it for the last 10 weeks, right? The sodding thing. I keep meaning to get the furniture polish out, the old pledge. Anyway, I'm just going to go and check on my mum for the last time. So.
Yeah, I'd love to know what you did think of it. It's supposedly a controversial film. So I'd like to know what the controversy is of that film. I knew he was going to do that. It's predictable. His jokes are predictable, aren't they? Yeah, we all are. Yes, we are predictable. David Marshall says, I used to love horror double bills on BBC 2 years ago. This weekend, I'm going to create my own horror double bill. Order the pizzas in and having Nosferatu and Food of the Gods. Brilliant. Why not? I think that's a good idea. Yes, a good double bill session. Yeah, and why not? I think it's great. I could do that with Hammer films, actually. Sometimes I just watch one and think, oh, I've got to watch another one and another one. I mean, I'm going to be watching another Hammer film before weekend. I'm addicted. So I don't blame you for doing that. Definitely. I am tempted sometimes. It's funny looking at Star Trek and doing a Star Trek one. But I love maybe a Star Trek one because I tend to overlook the other films because I love the first one that is showing there. But maybe I should try and just go into the Star Trek films and just watch from Wrath of Khan through and see, what I think about them. That would be an interesting marathon. Definitely. Actually, one of my favorites, apart from the Thor one, which is obviously one with the whale, is the very last one. It's kind of sad because it's the last one with the full original cast, The Undiscovered Country. I kind of, in many ways, I really enjoy that one a lot, The Undiscovered Country, because it's the end of the original cast, and it's a good way to end. It's actually quite a positive film to end.
Hang on. You have to reverse a little bit. How did you go from horror double bills to The Undiscovered Country?
Well, I was on about when it was on about double bills. I was thinking when I watched the motion picture, I don't know.
Oh, right.
Okay. So I was thinking what I should do, because how much we love the motion picture. What I should do is start watching the Star Trek films from Wrath of Khan and do a double bill there, and see. Well,
it's a trilogy, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And have a look.
Anyway,
at
I've got to go back and check on my mum at 10 o'clock because she told me to bugger off because she's watching an ITV program that started off at 9.
He said, "Bugger off." Yeah.
I said, "Mum, is it okay if I turn the telly off?" She went, "No."
Oh,
And I said, "What? Are you watching this?" "Yes."
Yeah.
And I said, "Is there any messages you want me to pass on?" And she said, "Tell Ian to bugger off." I went, "All right."
I can see her saying that. Yeah. Yeah.
No, she is actually engrossed on something that's on telly, and she did say, "Can the telly be left on?" I said, "Mum, I'll come back at 10 o'clock. It's all right."
Yeah.
So, but do remember that we've got to be up early in the morning because I've got to get you, all your stuff before Tracy turns up. So,
Right. Anyhow, we've got Tony saying, "Jamie, you were thinking about the Eureka Adventure Calls box set. I've seen them all now, enjoyed them all, but especially the ones set in the West and Mexico. Not so much the Middle East ones. Oh, the Western ones. Yeah, I know that you've been mentioning that." And then Rocketman says, "What was it? If I ask how many cups fit on it, did you have a biscuit with it, with a big Claxton go off, like when people give the obvious wrong answers on QI? It's still all about that coffee table. Oh dear, the jokes of the coffee table. That's the Dracula with Linda Hayden and Cleggy from Summer Wine, if I remember correctly. And you're spot on. You know a bit of Hammer as well, don't you? Yeah, Cleggy. And of course,
he just wanted to mention this bloody Last of the Summer Wine to show his age. Yeah. That's what it was.
But don't forget Wallace and Gromit. Wallace and Gromit. It was, yeah. They got somebody in, didn't they, after he died, who sounded like him. An impersonator almost.
Yeah, I don't like it when they do that.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I don't think they should do it.
Do you remember Scooby-Doo used to have Casey Kasem, didn't it? Doing voices and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they changed the voice of Shaggy, and then it just wasn't the same.
Yeah,
you could just tell it wasn't. You just
I think the BBC will probably stop now with Wallace and Gromit. I think
it's not the BBC. It's not. It's Hard Man Productions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
But there we are. And then here we go. Ian is perfect over Susan George lately. Well, Susan George. What can you say? I have been watching quite a few of her.
Yeah,
films.
but I keep asking that. Which one does Ian fancy, Susan or George?
Oh dear.
Oh, I see. It's one person. Sorry. Right.
Yeah. I know. I fancy Georgie girl.
Oh Christ!
Yeah, here there, Georgie girl. You know that I've got that film.
Yeah, Susan, George, and Mildred. Yeah.
Oh dear. No. And then indeed, Rocket Money. People are laughing. Yeah, I know. I can. Yeah. Well, you would, wouldn't you? Rocket Money. Look, my movies. I've watched your pickups from April video this morning. My eyes started wandering to the room through the door behind you. Just how many rooms in your house are full of films? Bloody hell! This is what we say it every week. All them films, all those steel books that Delboy keeps looking at as well.
Oh, I told you. Yeah. I told you. All I need to know is this postcode and house number, and that's it. That bloody house is gutted.
Yeah,
gone. There'll be 15 Pickford vans outside his house.
He's complained that he's running out of shelf space. You could help him.
Yeah.
You could offer to help him with the shelf space.
I'll help you. Yeah. You just tell me where the Pickford vans have got to go to, and that'll be it. I'll even get a forklift truck ready.
Well, you said you're going to curate your collection more, so you might be getting rid of some
he
steel
said,
books.
I think I'm putting my house on the market, right, for 499,000. But if I'm selling it with my films, it's $1,000,005.
Yeah.
It's double the price of the house.
Anyhow, and then we've got Tony saying, despite it having Susan George in it.
Tony? Where does it say Tony?
For some reason, that's the Pete Walker film I'm not keen on. House of Mortal Sin is my favourite of his, with Stephanie Beacham. Well, she's quite good as Stephanie Beacham, actually. Susan Penn-Halligan, yeah. And Susan George. Yeah. I definitely would like a bit more of the Pete Walker films. They've got a certain quality of them. Oh, continued. Mildred's snooty neighbour as a priest. Ah, yes. Where's George and Mildred? Rocket. That's a double width bookcase on landing next to the door that goes into my home theatre. I've got films all over the place. There you are. So they're harder to pinch, when you go in there. It's got them hidden everywhere, really. Yeah. I've got another bookcase coming tomorrow. I'm excited. I've got one coming. Another one to begin filling up. And then Rocket Bunny, impressive. Most impressive, yeah. And then Dave said, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Barry Evans was murdered in 1997. I think it was unsolved. Do you know? I think you might be right there.
Yeah, there was I think there was a documentary on YouTube that basically talked about how he was such a big star, and then the sad end of Barry Evans. And I couldn't remember if he committed suicide or whether he was murdered or something. Because I must admit, there's so many stars and actors that were in the 70s that there's something mysteriously happened about their death.
Yeah.
I mean, it is sad, and I think it's I think he was murdered. Not sure though.
I guess
I go with what you say there, David, because I can't quite remember the story of Barry Evans. But mind your language and the Doctor's films and all of that. He was fantastic.
I really love the Mind Your Language is great, isn't it? It's so good. So he died after that then. After he'd done Mind Your Language. Well, it's really sad. Very sad.
Well, Mind Your Language is the 80s. It's a good 10 years after Mind Your Language, isn't it?
I really like that. Yeah. Oh, well, that is sad. I was thinking it's like the same with the bloke who was in On the Buses. He attempted to commit suicide once, and he didn't. They managed to succeed, and he went on. But his depression was so bad. In the end, he committed suicide again and died. Yeah. It was very sad because his character was totally opposite in On the Buses. He was such a sort of jolly kind of chap, but in real life, he was very depressed. Very depressed. It's very sad. And I think what's his name? Who played? What's his name? Butler. Reg Varney. I think he had a few problems as well. It's interesting in our cast. The story behind is interesting.
Yeah.
What was it? Tony, would you say
it wasn't? No, it wasn't. It was his Clippy that was the sad one, wasn't it?
Oh yes, she died in a fire. And Karen.
No, the Clippy. His Reg Varney's conductor. Not the chief inspector, the one with the big teeth. He committed
that's
suicide.
The one. Yes, that's him. I was talking about Jack. Yeah. But Anne Karen, who played Olive, was sad. She died in a fire, didn't she?
Yeah, she was one of the last ones, though, wasn't she?
That's so sad.
They were doing a
Yeah.
documentary, and she died just after. I think they got it. They got
Yeah.
the documentary completed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But it is sad.
Yeah.
They're on the buses. I don't think it's a curse because there's a big long gap between each of the things that happen. But it is sad to hear about Bob that was in that because he was a funny character, but of course overshadowed by Reg. And of course couldn't get any character roles, even comedy roles.
Exactly. That was the whole problem, wasn't it? Yeah.
Probably because of his looks. It's just his look was iconic for that show.
Yeah. And nobody would employ him because they'll think everybody's going to think it on the Buster's character. It is true about being typecast. That's what a lot.
Yeah, but I think you are stapled to something when you're a particular look.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? For him, it was teeth. For Olive, it was probably her glasses or whatever it is. You know what I mean? There's a certain feature on it. Like if you got a big nose or your ears are big or whatever it is, they'll just recognize you in being in that one show, and that's it.
It can work though for some characters, that thing. Because my immediate one is Sid James. I mean, Sid James is so recognizable. He's Sid James all the time. Whatever you put him in. So people like him, and that's why he did so well. So it can work in your favor as well.
Yeah.
Tony, would you say that the German Western box set is worth picking up then? We'll see what he says. Slipknot says, Dave Marshall, is that when the movies were presented by Dr. Terror?
Fragmented conversations going on now. You got to remember.
I think this is when he was saying about the BBC Two,
a double bill,
double bill. Yes. Oh yeah, they're Doctor. They've done it a few times. That kind of presentation. Yeah. Let's have a look. And then Muckman Rocket. Trouble is, I'm doubling up on my shelves everywhere. A space is at a premium now. Well, we've told you how you can solve it, and then Muckman, no chance, Delboy. I have loads of foreign films in my top 60s films. There you are. You've been put in your place. You've been put in your place, lad.
That was a challenge, you see. I said, do your top 10 60s and then have a foreign film.
It was for me, Jamie, as I've enjoyed the other ones. I have on German DVD Blu-rays of the Westerns. They do have some light-hearted comedic moments, so you have to enjoy those mixed in. Music and cinematography are filmed in Yugoslavia mainly. Well, that's interesting. German Westerns filmed in Yugoslavia. Yeah. And then David Marshall said, Slipknot, it was late 70s, early 80s horror double bills, BBC Two. I was young. We just got a Betamax. So I could record them and watch them next day. Brilliant. That's what you used to do, isn't it? Yes.
I must admit, I bought my Betamax player much later on in my life because I had a V8. My dad bought a VHS. My friend had a Betamax. I looked out for a second-hand one, and the second-hand one, even back then, was quite expensive when I bought it because I think I bought my Betamax in 84, 85.
Yeah.
The VHS that we got in the house was 1980, 81.
Yeah.
My dad went to Radio Rentals, or was it Rumbelows? One of the two, and bought that. And he told me that it was, 2 months' wages.
Yeah. For
that, because he was working in a factory.
Yeah.
And I was so glad. And even now, everybody in my family recognized me as the person that could set the timer on the damn thing.
Yeah. Ain't that funny that
the power went and the clock would be blinking there for about a day or so before somebody says, "Can you fix that damn clock?" Blink
My
it.
dad, he chose Betamax, so we started off with Betamax.
It was the better. It was the better
yeah.
format. It was the
Yeah.
better format.
Yeah.
No word of a lie. It's just that you until later on you couldn't record one film on a tape because if a film went over 2 hours, you were stuffed.
Yeah, I remember it was exciting when we got it. It was very exciting.
Yeah.
Great times.
Yeah, the quality of the picture was brilliant on them.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's easy to understand because most of the media channels, BBC as well, were using cameras that use Betamax tapes for years.
Yeah.
You know, all the outside film broadcasts were done with Betamax.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But VHS won.
Well, it's Sony, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day,
and I've heard it said that it won because of the rental market, and that the porn industry had a big effect in America on it.
Well, there is that, but it is that, but it's also, as mentioned, Betamax at the very beginning. I think the tapes were an hour long, and then you had to have 2 tapes to put a film on.
Yeah,
you know, they did manage to get round that problem later on, but the technology for the initial Betamax players, you could only have a certain length of tape, so you were stuffed when a film was like an hour and 50 or something. You were stuffed.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I mean, how long was it before we had long play and extended play on VHS?
Yeah, I remember that as well. Yeah.
So I mean, our first player didn't have long play and extended play. I mean, it just recorded. That was it.
Yeah.
It was a top loader as well.
Yeah. Tony said, excellent. I should have said. And then Jamie, I thoroughly enjoyed The Handmaiden, Delboy. It's an erotically charged thriller with a few curveballs. Oh, I'm sure there's a lot more.
I'm really looking forward to it. We Bob Art said I was going to enjoy it, so
yeah. It sounds interesting. Yeah. Sai says, Ian, I am forgiving you. Here we are for not having the Sting in your 70s top 10. I told you I couldn't fit it in. You know, I'm sorry. I know you'd have put it at number 1. I don't mean that, but it's not my number 1 film. But I did think about it.
Is that what the actor said to the bishop? Couldn't fit it in.
Oh, God,
well,
yeah. Oh, we are going to say yes.
Well, if we're talking who's turned the light on? Bloody hell, that shine on your head. I mean, have you pledged it or what?
Get out all the old jokes. Get them out. Oh.
I mean, I'm still blinded by the light. Look now with that glare on you.
That's a bit of Manfred Mann.
Is that your son getting another takeaway? Is it?
No.
Has he walked into the room to pick up his Chinese? Is he?
Oh dear. Oh.
We still don't know how his relationship is with his girlfriend. All these things, they're unanswered, It's like an episode of Soap, this.
Yes. Say this. Wonderful.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't sub gaming. Question to Ian. Oh, looking at
Ian, hang on. Where's my question?
Well, oh dear. Looking at 60s, 70s, and 80s TV series. What one thing do you think was a sign that they've run out of ideas? I would say dream sequences. Well, actually, it's an interesting question. I think a series that
honestly, the one that comes to mind to me that's not aimed at me is the Dallas one.
Of course,
where they were going in totally the wrong direction, and then all of a suddenly, and it was all a dream. And
Yeah.
Peter Duffy came out of the shower, and it's like, what? You're still alive? What the bloody hell? Where'd you come? Where you've been for the last like 2 years or whatever it was that all happened in? You know, I mean, that's running out of ideas, isn't it? And saying it was all a dream.
I think when actors leave and they have to replace them with other actors, I think one of the things, and also suddenly the writers sort of kind of change direction in some ways. I think there's a series that stands out is one that we both love, and that is Blake 7, the final 4th series. There are 1 or 2 episodes in 4 series. It's not a total disaster at all, but it's one where clearly they were running out of ideas. In fact, I think you know this as well, that they actually thought they were being cancelled at the end of the 3rd series.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from with. I sort of know where you're coming from with Blake 7, because in Blake 7 it was like, what is the shock ending that we can have at the end of season 3 that makes us have to go in a totally different direction? Oh, I know, we'll blow up the Liberator.
Yeah.
Right. And then, of course, what do you do at the beginning? You have a different ship with a different computer called Slave and all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, running out of ideas is things like, right, we got to have a robot dog in Doctor Who, because he's got to have something technology that goes on
and appeal more to kids as well.
Yeah, when you've been pandering and somebody turns around and says we've got to have a toy line, so you got to start adding this into it.
And I think also they felt that they wanted to be less violent, and they thought they'd make it more kid friendly because they were under a lot of pressure after that particular era, the horror era, the Hinchcliffe era, which was probably classic Doctor Who at its best. It didn't go down well with all certain areas in the BBC, and it's that's what happens. They water things down, but that wasn't running out of ideas. But that does happen.
The very first thing that you said, the very first thing that you said does ring true a little bit. I think when they're changing the actor, that's bad. I'd rather have the character written out. They did that in Only Fools and Horses when Grandad died. They didn't actually have a different actor for Grandad. They brought in an Uncle Albert.
Good idea,
right?
That was
which is a better way of doing things than something like in Bread, where one of the actors went in Bread and they changed the actor for a major character that everybody loved, and that it was jarring because you're going, who's this guy? Oh, he ain't like the old one.
Yeah.
It's all like this. I think really that writers need to think about that a little bit more and actually think of a good way of writing the character out. You see what I mean? I don't like it when they change the actor.
No, they shouldn't do that.
But some people do think if we do that, that main character is the one that they watch it for. And it's not the actor that's doing it; it's our writing for that character. So we've got to have somebody else play it. I understand it to an extent.
I mean, Blake 7. I know it's a series we do talk about, but Blake 7 was lucky because when the lead character Blake left, they had Paul Darrow playing what's his name? Avon. And he was loved by the fans, and he was a great contrast.
Yeah, but the person that you're trying to think of, I think, really is actually the bloke with the eye patch. That his actor, he was changed.
Oh yes, I've forgotten his name. Yeah, they changed him, didn't they? Yeah. He was in the
I think they got lucky with that though, because they got another actor in that was equally quite malevolent.
Yeah. I think with Avon, the fans loved him anyhow. It was inevitable. I think in many ways, he was seen as better than Blake. Okay,
well,
because and therefore he helped the series a lot. I mean,
Blake,
he really pushed the
you
series
see, the trouble
on.
with Blake is he walked a line.
Yeah.
If he was to go one way and kill everybody, he'd be hated. If he went the other way and let them go, he'd be considered weak, and he needed to be the leader.
Yeah.
So what Blake ended up being was a filter for Avon. When Blake left, the filter was off, and that's why it worked, I think.
And Avon wasn't an idealist.
No, he wasn't.
Blake was an idealist, and that was an interesting point. I mean, Avon was what he could get out of it. There was no cause there. Everything was for himself, and that made an interesting dynamics because they were supposedly helping. He wasn't a rebellious leader, was he? He didn't want to be a rebellious leader, whereas Blake, that's what he was made of. That's who he was.
It was ahead of its time, Blake. Do you think Aurak, right? Aurak is the 70s version of I daren't say the word, but Alexa. Right?
No, you are right. No, you're right. I think that's a very good comparison. That is so true. Yeah, that's a very good comparison. Yeah, anybody who doesn't know Blake 7 will be going, "What the hell are they on about?"
Yeah, we better get off the subject.
But we love Blake 7.
And I'm sorry, don't sub that I sort of invaded on that a little bit.
Yeah, but it's.
I was just trying to help Ian out with a few ideas.
Yeah. I think I know what you mean about these dream sequences. There's all sorts of things that do happen with, as you said, the most famous one, isn't it? Where in Dallas, the shower thing that everybody talked about, and they just ignored everything that had happened before it or something in storylines. Well, that's what I've heard. Yeah, I've never saw Dallas. It never quite.
I got involved when they, obviously you couldn't miss it, could you? With Who Shot JR?
Yeah, I mean? There was all that going on.
It was on Russell Harty. It was on Tony. It was you know what I mean. It was on every talk show. Yeah. Larry Hagman was on. Everybody was talking about it. America was bloody all over it. You know what I mean?
The BBC vamped it up, didn't they? They made a big thing of it, and that's when it was happening.
There was even a computer game called Dallas the Game.
Was there? Oh,
bloody awful.
But it was.
It was only on disc. It was on the Commodore 64. It was bloody awful. It really was.
Yeah. Tony says, David, we picked the wrong format too. Yeah, Betamax. I know we did. Oh dear. And then Rocket Bunny doesn't like Tron. No Star Wars. Where is that unsub button? I thought you were going to say, what's the world coming to? Well, I couldn't put Star Wars in. And I'm sorry. I couldn't put a lot of things that I love in. I do love the original Star Wars. It's fantastic, but it just couldn't go in, I mean, there was no Alien. I love Alien. I didn't put Alien in. And you know how much I love Alien. I wanted to show a few films that not everybody would immediately go for. So
Alien. I must admit, Alien was the one film I was going A.
Yeah, Alien. I mean, I think Alien is the best of the whole series of films.
But
a lot of people will go for Aliens as a favorite film. Yeah, but Alien is for me the best. It's just pure sci-fi horror, and there's so much about it. Everything, the atmosphere. I could talk about it too much, but it's such a great film. Is Alien?
You know my opinion. It's Ridley Scott, Jerry Goldsmith's score. It's just.
I mean, you can't argue with Alien, and for me personally, it made a big impact when I saw it at the cinema for the first time. It was like Blade Runner. It made me go, "Wow, what am I watching? So much special here." Yeah. And then James said,
one of my highlights was seeing Alien at the pictures.
yeah,
Obviously, when it first came out, I couldn't go and see it, but it has been reissued and shown at certain cinemas, and I have seen it on the big screen. And I tell you what, it was one of those.
Was
it really like this in the 70s? Wow, no wonder people were coming out scared.
Honestly,
because the lights go down, you eliminate everybody else in the room, and you're watching it. And it's like
the most outstanding films that stand in my memory are Star Trek: The Motion Picture, because that was an event. Alien, that stands out because the way it just took my breath away was fantastic, and Blade Runner. Blade Runner, bloody hell, I've not seen anything like Blade Runner.
I've had Star Trek: The Motion Picture in there.
Star Trek. Every thing is, I think that was a screening that I went to where everybody was a Star Trek fan. So you imagine everybody has been anticipating and waiting for this to happen. There were a lot of publicity, and we're waiting and waiting, and we actually go and see it, and we were just blown away by it. And that's why a lot of us just went to see it again.
It is the most beautiful looking Enterprise. It really is. Those dorsal fins on the back they were turned into like streamlined fins. They look absolutely gorgeous.
There were people, people would be laughing at me because they'll say, well, you think 2001 Space Odyssey is boring and long. Well, isn't Star Trek: The Motion Picture just the same? No, it's not. That's my opinion. It's a totally different thing. 2001 just irritates me.
There have been many silly debates on Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I like the one where it says, how can you call it the Enterprise when actually it's been totally redesigned? I mean, how much of the original Enterprise is actually in that Enterprise? Because it looks the whole bridge is different. Apart from the shape of it, it's actually something like a third bigger. So is not even the frame is the same. Do you see what I mean? So people are saying it can't be the same Enterprise if it doesn't have the center of it as being original from what it originally was. And it looks although the shape looks the same, you can't turn around and say it's slightly bigger. It's all of this has been redesigned and everything. How can it be the original Enterprise then? You've replaced 90% of it. I mean, what is it like? In one part of it, they've kept the sort of like the hangar deck or something. Is that all they kept of it? So that's why they called it the Enterprise, because the hangar section was never changed. But it's quite interesting. How much can you change of something before it's not the Enterprise anymore? In fact, that should have had an A badge on it.
I mean, the fact is, it was directed by Robert Wise,
Bob Wise,
who's just such a great. Anybody who directed The Day the Earth,
Day the Earth Stood Still,
is all right in my book. Absolutely. Okay,
I mean, I let him off for The Sound of Music and West Side Story.
Well, you can't argue with him that is probably one of the most successful musicals of all time, The Sound of Music. And if he directed that, then I'm not going to argue with him.
West Side Story is pretty well known.
Yeah. But I think Sound of Music was even more popular.
Well, it is Julie Andrews and those stupid kids, Yeah. Wow, one of those kids turned into Spider-Man in the 70s. So they are.
Because you'd get all these programs about what the real.
It was Nicholas Hammond.
Traps, and you'd get all about what happened to the kids who played.
It was Nicholas Hammond, and he turned up in episodes of the TV series Logan's Run and all sorts of stuff. He turned up in loads of shit.
Yeah. And then Slipknot says, nice. I'm more familiar with the 90s BBC 2 horror stuff. Yeah, I can. That's how it is. Yeah. But I remember Appointment with Fear. See, I'm showing my age. In the 70s, on Yorkshire TV. Yorkshire Television used to have that on ITV, Appointment with Fear, about 10:30 on a Friday. Absolutely wonderful it was. And that's where I saw my first Universal and Hammer films. And then Tony says, then I'd start again with VHS because the format, when I know it was, in the end, it's like my dad says, oh, it's no good. We're going to have to get a VHS player. So we did, it's true. And in the end, you had to give in. You had to give in.
The thing about it is, how did you sell your Betamax player when everybody knew that VHS was what it was? Because
you had to keep it. It going loft. That's where it went.
Because you'd get, even though it cost like 800 quid, you'd get 50 quid for it back then. It was nobody's buying it.
Yeah. Mind you,
although it could be a backup, I suppose.
Yeah. I won't be surprised though now if there's collectors who the price will have probably gone up.
Oh Christ!
Imagine now.
I had two Betamax players. I kept one, sold one. The one I sold for, I think it was like 400 quid.
What? Oh, I bet there'd be even more now.
Oh yeah.
What? I bet
it was a genuine Sony Betamax.
And was there another format? Were there 3 formats?
There was more than 3. There was Video 2000.
What was it called?
There was Video 2000, which was a double-sided one where you actually turn it upside down and record on the other side.
Yeah,
that was a format that died on a death as soon as it came out because the tapes were so big they cost a fortune.
Yeah.
There was several formats.
Yeah.
That one comes to mind though.
Yeah.
The double-sided.
Yeah. Here we are. Jamie says, I've got at least 4 60s foreign films in my top 10. There you are.
You bet that's not the thing. You got to take the foreign ones out. What are you going to replace them with?
And then here we are, Tony. I knew you'd say this. Zulu 60s film. How could it not be? Yeah, it's true. It has to go. I'd have to put it in. I'd have to put it in the top 10.
Wow. No point bloody watching your 60s collection now. We know Zulu's in it. I mean,
I haven't done it yet. It's not something I've got round to do.
I mean, all I need to know now is the other 9, and I know it, don't I? So there you go.
I'm sure you could guess 1 or 2. Anyway,
yeah, of course I could. Yeah.
Now I'll tell you what would be a difficult one, but would be an interesting one. Would be 50s films. Very interested to do that one. Yeah. People probably not familiar with a lot of 50s films.
I mean, that Veil was 1958.
Yeah, there's all sorts, but it's getting the will and the effort to do them sometimes. And then,
just think if you had to do the top 10 comedy greats of the 30s. Christ.
Yeah.
With Chaplin and Laurel and Hardy and all of that sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, I've thought of all those different things that you could start doing genres, top 10 genre ones. Yeah. Well, it's like my shorts now. I've got one more lot that I'm going to be doing soon. Westerns are near the end, and I'm going to do action.
No, don't tell us. Don't tell us. I don't want to know. No.
Yeah, but I haven't done them yet. But I've got to do.
No, but I don't want to know the genre. I want to know. I want to know when it comes out.
Oh yeah. Oh well. Anyhow, you want
all I was getting at with the 30s stuff is just how difficult it is when you've got things like Chaplin. You've got Laurel and Hardy, you've got Harold Lloyd, you've got Buster Keaton, you got. I mean, then you've got. I know. How am I going to choose 10?
Yeah.
Because I mean, they were coming out with one a week.
Yeah. Massive
thing it was.
Yeah. Right. So we've got here. The first 60s film that comes to mind when somebody asks about 60s films is the Italian Job. You see, there you are. You see,
like it's like I've always thought this. When somebody, it's always your brain instantly brings up an image in your head when somebody mentions something like 60s music. You've probably got instantly a tune that comes into your head, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily going to be the one.
Yeah.
It's just it signifies in your brain something that goes bang in your and in your eyes. You just got this image, and you're going, "Why did I think of that?" And for that one, it was like Alfie, and I don't know why, because not a brilliant film. It's just it probably signifies the 60s in some way in my head.
It is. It's
swinging 60s.
Area.
It is swinging 60s.
Yeah. It is. It's Alfie represents that permissive era, which nowadays is frowned upon. It's a very interesting concept that the people were fighting for freedom, women as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's known for Michael Caine talking to the camera, which was something that was sort of like unheard of.
Yeah.
There's films that come off of that, like Georgie Girl.
That's it. And which I mentioned, Georgie Girl. Yeah.
Red Grave, is it Red Grave that was in there?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
It was the Seekers that did the tune to that, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I it's not a film that I have. I know so much about Georgie Girl. Why is that? Why did I suddenly start knowing that the Red Grave was
because it became part of?
Maybe it's something to do with my mum and dad.
Yeah. But certain things, it's like that song was just on the radio. Obviously, you weren't in the 60s, but I knew it. I heard it on the radio, so it was all in the background.
Hey there, Georgie Girl. Yeah.
So
it was all about her. Don't be a dowdy person, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it was all. That's what the song was, wasn't it? Don't be a dowdy person. Pick up those clothes and be the different person, the person that you could always be. Yeah, I remember the song.
Yeah. The Seekers were quite big at one time. They had quite a big series of run of songs, and then
they even did my mum.
New Seekers were formed.
My mum used to sing "Morning Town Ride" to get me to go to sleep.
Oh, right.
Train whistle blowing makes a sleepy noise. Blah 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 blah. But my favorite song of the Seekers is what's it called? The Carnival is Over.
Oh yes, that's what people mentioned that one. Yeah.
I mean, that's my favorite Seekers song. And in fact, that actually ended their concert, didn't it? Every concert they ever did, because it's obviously the carnival is over, isn't it? I mean, it's a sad song for a start about two lovers that aren't going to see each other anymore. He's heading off to Portsmouth to be on a boat, and she's staying behind. That's pretty much what it is, isn't it? It's a folk song type thing. Yeah, and it's just gone 10, so I'm gonna have to check on my mum. So sorry.
Right, so I'll carry on. Right. Tony says, wrong one though, Rocket. Yeah, he's laughing at that. Yeah. Haha. Snap sigh. Yes. Great minds, Rocket Bunny. Yes. Now, Slipknot says the first 60s film I can think of is Mario Bava's Black Sunday, 1960. You know, that sounds interesting. I don't know that one. That sounds really interesting. Mario Bravo, very good. Bravo. See, I'm saying it. Yeah. I don't know much more about it. And then Rocket Bazir, of course, mate. And then I'll get me caught. I'm outvoted. Hey, lad. Oh, dear. Rocket Bunny. Hans Tony is, eh? Laughing then. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. And they say, bye. It's good job Delboy's not here. Bloody hell. You know what he was saying? No, we need you, Tony. If you're not here to deceive Del's rants, to receive Del's rants, he will go for someone else. Yep, that's true. He would. He'll pick on anybody. I get picked on. You get picked on. Jamie gets picked on. Look, man, first 60s films. to pop in my head is The Great Escape. Yeah, it's another great one. You see, once you start digging into the 60s, they'd start coming up everywhere, the films. Yeah. And then Rocket Bunny, all great 60s choices in chat. They are. Ian, I said it. We knew you would. We knew. Yeah, we knew it. Rocket Bunny. Yeah, that Japanese Godfather trilogy piqued my interest also. That was a good one, Muckman. Yeah, I think it certainly did. Jamie says, that box set is only $33.99, Del. Cheaper than one 4K steelbook. Is it? That is cheap, actually, isn't it? Yeah, $33.99 for 3 books. Wow, that is excellent. 3 films for that price. That's excellent. Yeah. It says on Amazon as well. Yeah. And then Radiance have done a great job releasing foreign titles. Tony says, up and coming are some Spanish horror. Oh, and early Italian noir. That sounds good. Spanish horrors have been very good. I've had eating turned off since we came back from Malta at the beginning of April. May has been freezing. God, tell me about it. Oh, God, it's always cold. It never gets warm. What's happening? What is happening? I don't know, but it's blooming cold. That's all I say it is. And it's bloody May, as you say. Yeah. And so, oh, yes, I've been having the heating on in the morning. It's bloody May. Yeah, I know. Yes. And the older you get, the more cold you feel. I tell you, God, it's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And then agreed Tony Radiance are a reliable source for Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. Thank you very much. Oh dear. Yes. Del, regarding gaming, if you see me online playing something else, you can always ask. There's the point of view. And if I'm not online, just send me a WhatsApp. You have my number several times.
Did somebody say Peter? Did somebody say Peter Cushing?
Yeah, Cushing. Yeah, and Christopher Lee. Yeah.
No, what I was saying is that I see him playing a game and I don't want to interrupt him, and I keep meaning that we need to play something, but I always find it difficult interrupting someone. When you see my Steam account open, you'll tend to find I'm not in a game. Sometimes I am. I'll tell you one that I've been playing that you'd like, Crusader Kings 3. Oh, you'd love that because it's based on you choose a king from a certain area of Europe in the 14th century. Going back to 1066 all the way up to I think it's Tudor times, and you have to do everything. You have to sort of like marry off people. There's peasants that attack you because you're charging too much taxes. Everything's in it. It really is. I mean, my God, is that a strategy game? Jesus Christ! It took me 2.5 hours to go through the tutorial.
Wow,
bloody hell! The tutorial, and it took 2 hours plus to go through.
Oh, it's a lot of investment in time.
It's just astronomical. And then there's wars going on, and then you've got your whole thing. You can do it just like a history lesson, or you can change history. You know your history.
I like changing history is a good thing.
Yeah, so you could say, if you knew that this king married this person, you could say, no, I'll go for a Spanish princess. That changes
and that will have a big impact.
The whole thing.
Alliances and different changes.
And there's so much backstabbing going on. My God, the amount of backstabbing that's going on. This person turns on you. This person says that you can't do this, and you change the law, and bloody hell. Oh, it just gets so complex. No wonder nobody did anything other than shag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Christ. I mean, you can assassinate the Pope. You can do all sorts in it. You know, I mean, it changes everything.
I was watching this sort of documentary about why a lot of these kings and queens died early, and they were very ill, and it was all to do with because of the interbreeding. They weren't they were marrying their cousins. They were marrying. It was virtual incest sometimes.
Well, yeah, but there's also the aspect. There's also the aspect that health back then.
Oh yeah, there is all that.
There's the diseases after childbirth, and there was
Well, they didn't have any cures, did they, for certain things that nowadays we take for granted. But some people were genetically not well prepared for any diseases that would come up, and that interbreeding didn't help. You know, they were more open to diseases.
Yeah, but either the queen died or the bloody child died. That's what generally happened.
Well, yeah. Well, we know things were dirty, health and stuff. You know, the conditions were awful. You know, everything stank.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
it never comes up in the film. Nobody's going around like this with their noses pinched. Going, I'll talk to you tomorrow, mate. I'm just going down the market.
And people are saying, no wonder Queen Elizabeth I didn't have any suitors much, because they all turned up and went, "Oh God, she stinks," you know.
Yeah.
Oh, see you, mate.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, you hate to think, wouldn't you, that what Cleopatra swimming in milk was like? Jesus Christ!
Mind you, to be fair to the Romans, they were really good. I mean, all the baths, they were into hygiene.
Sanitation and irrigation came from them, didn't it? I think.
Yeah, they were really into it. You'd have thought we'd have learned from that, but we never did.
Even if it was just a half pipe going down the middle of the street where the shit just went down the middle of the street. I mean, at the end of the day, it was still better than what they were doing, just sticking their asses out the window and shitting out the window. You know what I mean?
Putting it out at window. Yeah, no. Oh, yeah.
As in Blackadder. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, people forget Victorian times. You know, it was pretty bad then.
Well, it was actually in the Crystal Palace that the first inside toilet was demonstrated, wasn't it? If I remember rightly, the two biggest things that people talk about when they talk about the Crystal Palace is inside toilets. That was a very big show, and vulcanized rubber.
Yeah, well, that's God. Yeah. Right.
Amazing how I know that.
We've got to the usual joke here. I was waiting for this one to come up. Let's all type Allons Delon. There you are.
No, let's not.
And then Allons Delon. There we are. We've got
no.
And then James says, Tony agreed about Radiance. They're a great source for fantastic unknown movies. So you should by now.
No,
Allons Delon. There we are, Tony. Thank you so much. Delboy loves it every week. It's his favorite.
Do I buggery?
I'm on the 4-day week. Woo! Yeah, well, enjoy your 4-day week. Yeah.
Do you know what that means? I expect to see something on YouTube. That's what I expect on your day off.
Yeah. And then sign not so. All right. Don't sub says I'm gonna order a takeaway for 10 p.m. Do I go for a blazing hot curry, a kebab, or a chicken wrap?
Do you know what makes me laugh about that? It's 17 minutes past 10. He's probably eaten it.
He probably has. But if you're listening maybe on the playback or what have you, then I would go for a kebab, but that's just me.
Do you know what? I wish our fish and chip shop delivered. They do deliveries, but you got to spend 50 quid before they'll do it.
What? Oh,
They're doing it for businesses, you see.
Oh, well, you know, Uber Eats and Just Eat are not as expensive as that.
No, but Uber Eats only does it with those with those kebab places that do pizzas and that. The chips aren't the same. It's not a proper fish and chip shop.
Oh, you want proper yeah. Because there is one on, I think ours. I can get proper fish and chip shops on Just Eat and Uber.
Yeah, we ain't got it on ours.
You need a proper fish and chip shop, though.
Our nearest Burger King is down a motorway.
Is it? Oh, well, yeah. Mind you, we haven't got one. We've got McDonald's. Got 2 McDonald's, but no.
Yeah, we got 2 McDonald's. We ain't got. We're not getting a Burger King until July. Apparently, and it's the first time in 8 years that it closed down.
Right.
No, it's not. I'm telling a lie here. It closed down during COVID.
Yeah,
4 or 5 years ago. Burger King have reduced their number of outlets like nobody's business. And it's strange because Burger King came out of Wimpy and Bernie Inn and all of that. They were huge at one point, but then they lost. And yet I like their burgers more than McDonald's. All that gherkins and crap.
Yeah.
I like my double bacon cheeseburger. There you are.
Yeah.
Plain, you see? Plain. Not all that other crap on it.
And Si says something which I don't like, but there we are. Curry. You like your curry. Not for me. Not for me at all.
No. He didn't mention Indian or Chinese there either, did he?
I'll have a bit of Chinese. But not that. Del, I've been listening to the chat for a while before I started commenting. Sorry about your mum. My own mum fell. Fell in January and broke her hip. I always say family before anything. Those are true words.
Well, I'll tell you what. Thanks for listening. I tend to find that my mum wouldn't mind me talking about what I do. I mean, obviously, I can't ask her now, but I was doing my blog well before she had dementia, and she never had a problem with anything. And I was talking to Ian, and I was saying, look, I need some of the stuff that I'm doing is to tell other people that might be carers later on just what's involved, so they don't have that sticker shock of what's going on. Because I tell you what, it's a bewildering amount of stuff that you've got to learn. Even in the last 6 weeks, I've had to learn how I'm going to change my mum when she's bedridden. You know, how do you lift her up to put to pull her pads up or her pajamas up or change the sheets? How do you change the sheets to somebody who can't get out of bed? You got to learn all of that, and it's all about pushing it underneath down underneath her body, and then you turn it, and the other person pulls it out, the other person then pushes it down, and you turn her back, and the other side pulls it. It's like that, and it's almost like a construction site, in regards to in our living room. It's full of pads and incontinence pads, and then you've got the creams, wipes. It's just a breast with full of stuff like this, and you've got to do it in a certain order. And some people may have found it boring what I was talking about, but then again, I've said it now, and it's a reference to somebody else that wants to come along and go, what exactly is involved? What is it that Del keeps talking about? So of course I got that out of my system, and there you are. I don't need to mention it again. I'll just go, look, listen back, and you'll know exactly what I do on a daily basis, 7 days a week. You think about that for the rest of your for the rest of the year, knowing that you got no holidays, nothing else, This is what you're going to be doing, and it's going to be 7 days a week, and see whether you can do it. Because I tell you what, I don't pat myself on the back, but my God, is it a difficult thing? It is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. And carers on minimum wage, how they do it, I don't know. They should be on more than minimum wage. Some of them are.
Yeah, totally agree.
Anyway, I've learned so much, and I can change a bit. I can change an undersheet now. It's quite easy. I could do the slide sheet. I could do everything.
Yeah. Well, you have to learn these things. You got no choice. That's how it is. Rocket Bunny says, I miss blazing hot curries. Curse my dodgy old stomach. Well, yeah, well, each to their own. Yeah. Muckman, I injured myself on stage at a comedy night last Friday. A comedian picked me out from the audience, and I had 4 of us reenacting Excalibur. I was King Arthur.
What, with that beard?
Yeah.
You should have been Merlin.
And asked to pretend riding across stage on a horse. First, jump in the air, and I felt a sharp bing in my calf, diagnosed a grade 2 tear. Oh dear. That wasn't a very successful night out, was it? Definitely.
You're getting old. That's what that means. Don't be so bloody stupid jumping up in the air. And you should have been Merlin anyway. Who has a bold King Arthur? It must have been a comedy.
Oh dear.
Do they have a 13-year-old lass as Guinevere?
Would you be worried if before you went into a comedy show, if you had to sign a disclaimer or something before you went in that saying that they weren't responsible for any injuries and what have you?
Yeah, I know. You have to think about this, don't you?
What have I done?
I'm going to sue the arse out of you. You got me up here under false pretenses, and I hurt myself, and it's all down to you. Yeah, you got to think about that. Yeah. Imagine that in America. Christ, you'd be shut down.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, the lawyers would be queuing up outside.
And then everything that went on in the producers could just have somebody knock their leg or something in the actual production. You'd get away with it. Instead of it being a nightmare, crappy show. Just have somebody break their leg on stage.
Right.
Is there a stage show that you knew was out there that you missed, that you'd have loved to have been able to go and see? Mine was Spider-Man. They did in New York, they did this Spider-Man production that was synonymous as being the most expensive thing that, and of course it wasn't very good. But it ran for several years to get their money back, and it never toured or did anything. And apparently, I'd have loved to have been able to go to America and see it, but never did. Is there a stage show that, that you would have liked to have gone and seen that's come and gone, or even a concert like maybe Pink Floyd's The Wall or something, and you missed it when they were producing that album and it came out? You missed the concert, and you'd have loved to.
I'd love to have seen actually a performance of Dark Side of the Moon.
So when that came out, when that came out that year and they were touring, you'd have loved to have gone to see that. What were you doing when that was going on then?
That would be early 70s, wouldn't it?
Grey Whistle test time.
Yeah, they probably did some later, but I probably just didn't go. I did go to a lot of concerts in sort of from about 77 onwards. I did to a lot of live concerts, but I didn't. In when that Pink Floyd came out, I've probably been too young. I wouldn't have gone to any concerts. You know, my mum would say, "Yeah, you're not going to that, lad. Nah, you're too young." I didn't start going on my own till concerts till I was about 16. I'd say probably that's when I started.
So it was an age thing, was it?
Yeah, definitely.
Because you were what 54 when that came out or something. So you're a bit too old to go.
Aye, a bit too old. Aye.
Is that what it was?
Maybe
it's because electricity wasn't in Yorkshire in the 70s. I don't
know. Oh dear. Oh, there's loads of concerts I'd love to have gone to that I didn't, but I did see Kate Bush. I have to bring that up all the time. I did see Kate Bush live. Definitely.
Was that in London? Did you go to the London one?
No, I went to Birmingham, Hammersmith. Not Hammersmith. I think there was a Hippodrome, I think, in Birmingham. I don't know Birmingham that well, but we managed to get tickets. We was trying to get them all over the country. That we were really lucky. We had to just queue up on phone. That were days when you just be on the phone for hours. And we finally got through and got some tickets. Thank God. Oh, God, yeah. That was great. Anyhow, that'd be 1979, I think. Yeah, about 79 that would be. Right. Right. So we've seen Muckman's well, what can I say? Injuries. And then we've observed, I may hold off if Labyrinth will be on a sale. We'll see it as a movie I love and want in my collection. Well, yeah, Delboy mentioned about that.
Yeah, well, I just saw a YouTube video from that guy in America. I think it's called Mid-Level
Media or something.
Mid-Level Media, something like that. He just turned around and said that, I think.
Yeah. David said, I'm hoping they re-release Rocket at the cinema for its 50th. When is its 50th then? Is it?
Well, yeah, 1976, is it?
Oh.
So it's now.
So now. Well, there's still time. There's still time, isn't there? They might do in the end of year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it won the Oscar of 1976 because 77 is Star Wars, isn't it? So,
yes, yeah. I don't know. They might do. You know, some cinema like where Psy goes might do a screening, but I don't know.
Yeah, because it was 79 when he did Rocky 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and then we got Along Delon. It's just to irritate you. And Toad says, should it heal by itself, Jamie?
Yeah, let me put my hand up and say I hope you do get better soon.
Yeah,
I was only having a laugh with you, you know, about that.
You know what it's like with your back business.
Oh yeah,
so it's not very nice, is it?
I went to the doctors yesterday, by the way, on my back. So.
What have they said about it? Anything to help you?
They've given. Well, I mean, I've got paperwork here. I mean, it's spinal stenosis, they call it. Look.
Oh God, yeah.
And I've got all these exercises. You know.
Yeah.
You can see them very well.
I can see. Yeah.
And of course, my fit note now goes to the 8th of June.
Oh.
Any back problem instantly is 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh. Yeah.
And she said it could go longer because you've torn your scar tissue.
Yeah. Have you contacted work then about the situation?
Yeah, and I've had occupational health phone me up, and they've said 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, they are. Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So no change. That they do that just to cover their asses, really, a little bit. But
yeah. Oh, at least you know the situation. It's clear what's happening, so that's good.
I mean, I've had to get up, luckily, to go to look after my mum, but otherwise I'd be getting up out of the chair because I can't sit down for too long, if you see what I mean. And you probably see me move from left to right because I can't get comfortable.
And then Jamie says, Alain Delon, terrific actor, but what a bastard. His dying wishes was to euthanize his pet dog so that he could be buried with it. His daughter refused and adopted it. Well, yeah.
Well, once he's dead, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. And then, Jamie, so let me get this correct. You've torn your calf pretending to be King Arthur. Yes. That's what he said.
Yeah. I don't remember any story where King Arthur said, "I'm going to impersonate a horse and start jumping up in the air." I haven't got.
Actually,
can you remember when that happened in any of the
Monty
stories?
Python and Holy Grail, perhaps. Perhaps we could have had it then. Yeah.
Yeah. Arthur, King of the Britons. He did say that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Going around with coconuts.
Oh dear. Tony says, recently saw James Mason in another vintage classics release. Yeah. The Man Between, set in post-war Berlin. Oh, that sounds good.
Go on, tell me it was absolutely fantastic in it, because James Mason has never done a bad film.
Yeah.
That's apparently, that is the law now.
And then Muckman says, Tony, my calf should heal with a few strengthening exercises, but it can take up to 6 months.
Well, yeah, because it's a tear in the muscle. Remember, it's a tear in the muscle. So I mean, muscles have to meld. They have to knit themselves together. It takes an absolute
it is a long time. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you've ever had a tooth that's never grown in your mouth, right? You'll have a flap of skin where the tooth never poked up.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, when you clean your teeth, if you touch that gum, it will lift it up. Your gum will lift up, because it just constantly won't meld. It just won't join together with the rest of your gum. It's been separated apart. Yeah. So it's really hard. You know, if you've got something in your leg, I mean, just think how much you use your legs. I know how much you use your legs because I can't put my socks on in the morning. It takes me 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, that's how bad it is. And then after you put your socks on, you go, shit, now I've got to put my shoes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're there forever trying to put your trousers on. You have to sit on the edge of the bed to put your trousers on. Can't stand up and do it anymore. It's awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is.
Oh, dear. Oh, well. It is bad. Sai says, my favorite James Mason film is The Boys from Brazil. It's a film that I definitely want to get because it keeps cropping up everywhere. There's a lot of great actors in that film. It's
everybody knows mine, so I won't bother mentioning it.
But definitely.
It's a Hitchcock film, if you haven't guessed.
Yes. Yeah. I wonder which one that would be. I can probably see it actually. No, didn't I get it you as a Christmas present? Right. That's how much I liked it. No, there it is. There, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm pointing at it. There.
That's it. Didn't I get you that as a Christmas present?
You did. It's special. It's a beautiful edition. It's a special edition, and it's there on display.
I'll tell you what, the picture quality of that film. Yeah. Wow.
It's amazing to say how old it is. It's just amazing,
and it's just like that movie collector that was a projectionist. He tells you anything in that era, just gorgeous, technicolor,
beautiful. Wow. It is a beautiful film. You can't deny the way it looks. It's one of Hitchcock's best looking films.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Right. Tony says, never knew about Delon, Jamie. I did read it could be very difficult. Yeah, I heard.
I think you ought to pronounce it Delon now.
Del.
We haven't had this Delon.
So yes, torn calf pretending to be King Arthur, galloping on a horse at a comedy show. You couldn't make it up. It's true, actually.
That's true.
Yeah. Wow, long time, Jamie. It is, yeah. It's a long time. Yeah, I'm working from home this week to rest it. Well, that's all you can do. You can't do anything else, can you? And then Si says, Jamie, this will make you laugh. I was doing the Go Grease Lightning dance in which I broke 2 rings. I still don't know how I did it. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, that is bad. 2 ribs. And then, Tony, first thing that springs to mind whenever Boys from Brazil is mentioned is the dog mauling scene with Gregory Peck. Yeah, Gregory Peck's propped up again. And then Si is laughing there at Tony things. Need to send Ian and Tony Mask to put on during Tony York Corner.
Tony York, you gotta have Tony York corner.
Yeah. And then we've got Jim saying, evening, chaps. Apologies for being missing in action recently. No problem at all. Thank you for being here. Coming off the back of many disappointing watches, including The Boys. As a series I've not really watched, but I can't say anything. Good Omens Part 3 and Black Goat, Brit low budget horror. Black Goat sounds interesting because, especially if it's low budget horror, they're quite interesting. But yeah, any comments about those films? You know,
not really. Disappointing watches. The Boys, Good Omens Part 3.
Yeah.
I think I've seen The Boys. I don't think I've seen Black Goat.
Yeah. The Boys are the series on thingy. It's on Prime, isn't it? Unless it is
the TV series, The Boys.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say about that is that I only watched the first 2 seasons. Apparently, this season is the last one.
Yeah.
I've just recapped the last 2 episodes of season 2, and I remember where I'm at now. So I'm just about to start going into the 3rd season. Yeah. Apparently, it lost its way in the 4th, and the 5th one started off badly, but apparently it's gotten good again. But I don't know.
Dear.
Don't know.
So we've got Tony saying hi, Jim, and then Jim saying hi, Tony, and Si saying hi, Tony. Hi, Jim. Sorry. And then Rocket Buddy, Joker 2 wasn't as bad as everyone made out, but it wasn't a patch on the first film. Yeah, I agree. It's not. But some people, as I say, didn't mind Joker 2. You know, it was one of those films that was interesting, the opinion on it. I just really didn't like it, but I know people did. And then Jim says, hi, Si. And then Muckman moves is, Joker Folie à Deux wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I gave it a 3 out of 5. That's pretty high. Yeah. And then Si says, Jim, I've been really enjoying The Boys' final season. See, that's positive as well. Si, sorry, I found it most disappointing of the run. And then Joker 2 was better than Snow White. Well, according to Del, that is. Yeah, you're never going to live that one down, are you?
I never got to see Snow White. It went back to Amazon.
The more you protests, yeah, you know, don't you?
Yeah, everybody saw me show it, and it was still wrapped up, and it went back to Amazon wrapped up.
Oh yes. Oh dear. Oh, David says, Tony, I haven't watched The Bells Go Down yet. Maybe Sunday I'll watch it. Oh, that's good. And says, okay, David. Tony says, and then Si says, to be fair, Jim, I've not read any of the comics. I know that it's gone away from the source material by a country mile.
Yeah, I
That's
only
the
read a
problem.
few of the comics of the boys because I think it's a DC comic, and I'm mostly Marvel. But you can read these things digitally.
Yeah,
But I never got round to reading too much of it. But it was an iconic book, iconic comic series. I mean, the Walking Dead came from a comic. Take it like this.
Yeah. Rocket Bunny says, "Sigh, Robs. How many episodes are in the season? Do you know? I think we're up to 7 now. I'm waiting for it all to finish. Then I'll binge it. What do you think so far?" And then Sigh says, "Rocket Bunny, it's the final episode next week. Oh, so it's getting there end then. All right. Oh yeah, this is what we thought. Matrix is 1999.
Yeah, I thought about it and went, oh yeah, because it was the DVD was 2000 for me because I bought it from America. So
Sai says, "I've been enjoying it so far. I'm just a bit hesitant of how it's going to be wrapped up in the final episode. It feels if there is a way too much left to be tied up. Also, sometimes you get that feeling, but it might
yeah,
be.
you hope there isn't going to be a rushed ending where everything is all tied up because it's like why couldn't you have done this a bit more paced? You know, why is everything left to the last episode?
Because sometimes you get the opposite complaint that things have been stretched out too much, in episodes over episodes. But it's to do with, I suppose, the writing and what pressures they're put under, in filling out a season. How many episodes they do, I don't know nowadays. And then Rocket Bunny says, "Del caught me out last week. Think I've got time this time."
I honestly, I didn't catch him out. I never do. Rocket Bunny, I like to play a little joke and a prank sometimes, but
so I said not him this time.
I'm sort of simmering it down a little bit now.
Yeah. And then Jim says, "Sai, I love the characters in the TV series. The actors are perfect, especially Urban, but it's lost its way story-wise. Last episode is episode 8, I think.
So it must be this week or next week.
Yeah. Rocket Bunny says, "Watching the 4th Matrix Resurrection straight after the first 3 actually made it a bit more enjoyable." Well, that's all right. That's good.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people hated Resurrection because of the amount of years between them, and it was just jarring or something. But if you had to watch it possibly all the way through again, you probably get a better response. Yeah, I bet you a lot of people didn't do that. I bet you they went into Resurrection without watching the first 3 again. I bet you they just went straight in.
Yeah. And then I said, "Really, Rocket Bunny?" Now I won't make any jokes now because he's responding. Here we are, Jamie. "I thought The Coffee Table was a supernatural horror, but it turned out to be an anxiety-inducing film made about a struggling couple with a newborn baby. There's a moment that turns the film on its head." Oh God!
I hope they don't put the baby on its head.
Oh, it sounds awful. Well, could be. I don't know. But it has certainly been mentioned a lot, but I've known nothing about it. And you aren't really given much away there, but it sounds it could be pretty awful. I remember watching The Ghoul on those horror double bills. That's never had a Blu-ray release.
Really? Wow.
I thought The Ghoul. So yeah. Those double bills. Yeah, I thought it was on Indicator. I thought
been a long time since I've seen The Ghoul.
It's Jacqueline Pierce in that one?
That's the one I thought it was. But...
Yeah, certain which I showed a few weeks ago. I talked about. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
well, you
know.
know more. You know more about that side than I do.
Yeah,
So.
Jacqueline Pierce, definitely. I think it is, but I don't know. That's on Indicator label. And then talking of bringing franchises or genres, I've dug out the Italian horror giallo I have and not watched. Got 12, so may take a while. Halfway through, Four Flies on a Grey Velvet with Michael Brandon from Dempsey and Makepeace as the star. Well, that's quite a jump, isn't it? Yeah. And then here we've got Peter Sallis is in a good Doctor Who story, The Ice Warriors with Patrick Troughton. He's very good in it. You know, I've forgotten about that. I should know that. I should have known that.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I know. Anyhow, plug for my channel. Yeah, we're into Patrick Troughton era, so
yeah, you won't be far. You won't be far away from the Ice Warriors, will you?
Yeah, that's right. Yes,
I'll tell you about the Ice Warriors. That's a bit jarring for me. Is that bloody not music, but sort of like humming or chanting at the beginning, where they show off all the icicles, and it goes ooh, every bloody episode. It was like 6 episodes of the Ice Warriors, each one starting off in exactly the same way, with this woman sort of like howling like a bloody banshee at the beginning of it. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do vaguely remember that. Yeah,
It used to be so jarring for me. It was like, what? Because I used to hit. The first time I watched the first time about the Ice Warriors, I had it on audio.
Ah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it was played. It was played on audio tape for me, and that's all you heard at the beginning. Like, ooh, no pictures or anything. You just go, "What the hell's this?"
I can't wait to watch it again. I'm intrigued now. I want to definitely watch.
Oh, it's great!
So, yeah.
I told you about it, didn't I? He comes. The TARDIS is on its side, right? Yeah. Right at the beginning. They have to come out of it at an angle because it's fell over. Yeah. Then they go inside and something's just about to be destroyed, and he turns around and he's a genius all of a sudden. He says, I'd say about 2 minutes, 10 seconds, and you're going to have a nuclear explosion go off. And they said, let's ask the computer. It was 2 minutes 11. He said, well, I was a bit off, I suppose. And then he goes around all the computers and fixes them all, and there we are. He reverts the disaster. And it's like, Patrick Troughton's wonderful at doing that.
Yeah.
Because he's dressed up looking like he doesn't know bugger all about anything.
Yeah, no, that's the great thing about him. Wonderful.
And then he just goes up to this equipment. It says he flips the switches on these things. He's never seen this equipment in his life, and yet he knows what each bit's doing, and he knows what each button does, and he just goes around going, close that down. Put that nuclear reactor down there. Put the rods down, and he just goes around, and then he averts the disaster. And you're going, "Ow, Christ!" I take a new console out the box, and I'm timid about which bits I'm going to plug in. Yeah. And he goes along in any time or space and knows how all the equipment works. I tell you, I'd have loved him to set the timer on our video recorder.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
You keep coming back and doing it when we have a power cut. Have the TARDIS land in your living room to set the clock on the timer of your video recorder. That'd be good, wouldn't it? I've got a Time Lord on my books. Right, comes in whenever something happens with our technology.
Yeah,
that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
I'm a Time Lord on dial-up.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I was just bewildered.
I might as well. If anybody's interested, Delboy's got a great channel. Please check it out, and I'm sure you'll find something that you really enjoy on there. Really, please go and check it out sometime. Yeah, that's it. You'll find always find something.
I'm not going to do anything other than say, why isn't anybody hitting the thumbs up while we're watching while they're in here doing this chat?
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, if you're all in here and you're having a good time,
Yeah.
And there's about 8 of you in here. Why aren't there 8 likes at the end of it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm disappointed with.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know.
just
Maybe you're
happy
not
that
like. Maybe you
people.
don't like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think. Well, some people come back every week, so they must do. Now, this is. I'm glad. Now, this is good because Jim has put us right. David, The Ghoul, 1933. I've got that on Blu-ray. Last release was Network, 2015. So there's a film from the 30s. That's interesting. I don't know that one. I say I know the other one, the Hammer one. But yeah, 1933. And he's got it on Blu-ray. And Network, of course, what a great label they were. Absolutely wonderful Network.
Like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen The Ghoul. I thought that there was a Blu-ray, but because there's been lots of Universal.
Yeah, Tony says here, it's David. He says, I've got Ghoul on bootleg DVD. I think there's some rights issues to do with the director Freddie Francis' son blocking the release of the handful of films made in the mid-70s by his company. Wow, I don't like it when the family members start messing around.
Yeah, why do they do that?
Yeah, they're doing it on Doctor Who with Unearthly Child. And this is terrible. Why do they do that? Why? They're spoiling. So they should be proud of their family members that have produced this kind of work and that people are still enjoying watching it. It just amazes me why they would do that. They're not very nice people, obviously. They're not nice people to do that. I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
But we do get the opposite. We get people like with Film is Fabulous, where you've got families, when they've lost somebody or somebody's getting near end of life, who are handing in films and wanting it to carry on. Well, that's the opposite. That's really nice. That's fantastic to see that. But when this happens, I know Unearthly Child, they can't release it on the
that's right
things, which is annoying because one day we should get the collection of William Hartnell's first season, and if it's missing, if it's not on there,
but he's doing that because he's annoyed with the BBC over something, isn't it? I think it's something to do with respect for because was it something to do with the director of the Unearthly Child? It's a family member that and that it's something to do with respecting that director's legacy or something.
It's something that's they could work out. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure they could work it out.
Something to do with royalties or something.
Yeah, it's annoying when somebody does that. And I can't see any of that William Hartnell season being released for a long time. So maybe big time it does get a release, they'll have worked out an agreement.
I can see the BBC giving in. It's too much of a cash cow.
Yeah, but it won't be for a while.
If you think about it, if he turned around and said, "I want 5% of the sales," and say it's the last box set, which is the whole of the first season or something, right? They're going to turn around and say, "Look, we can't have everything, but not the first thing coming out."
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just give him. We'll do a deal or something, and it won't be 5%. It'll be 2.5% plus this or something, or you can have the original print or something.
To be fair, the first story, Unearthly Child, is great, but what follows it is terrible. I don't like that one at all.
It's three episodes of boredom and one episode that totally delights.
I always amuses me all these posh accents. And it's so funny, all these like Shakespearean actors, posh accents going over top, and it's awful.
It always amuses me because I like watching that that Mark Gatiss, An Adventure in Time and Space, where they got and of course they're talking about the Unearthly Child when they did the pilot and they said redo it and all that sort of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
There's a guy that comes on and says he won't come on and do the caveman sequence because he's just had his teeth whitened and he doesn't want to blacken them up. And he says he's only going to be a shadow, the stupid sod. And some actor comes and says, I'll do it for nothing. It just makes me laugh. Did that really happen on the set? I wonder if it did. It probably did.
Nothing would surprise me.
I always like going back to that because I think that's a fun documentary.
Yeah. I must admit, well, after I've watched the Unearthly Child, soon as that comes on, you start to watch it and it starts to bore you to death, and it's too much. That's it. Once is enough for that. Is it as bad as Twin Dilemma?
Wow.
You? Which I think is the real pits. I wonder.
Twin Dilemma is awful.
More entertaining.
I mean, even his costume's not entertaining in that. I mean, Christ, those two kids. And how you could have a great actor like their mathematician, that was how you can have an actor like that in that episode and still turn out a piece of shit like that, I don't know.
But I'll give you a choice. You can watch Unearthly Child or Twin Dilemma. Which would you want?
Unearthly Child every time.
Really?
At least you got one good episode.
Yeah.
Name a good episode in the Twin Dilemma. Not even the bloody beginning is good.
It isn't. It's awful.
I mean, you got a doctor that's going around. A doctor that's going around killing Perry. I mean, even the first episode is shit.
It's terrible. Right. It really is. Oh, yeah.
I feel sorry actually for Colin Baker because he did ask for. Can you give me a bit of direction? And they said, oh, well, he's always erratic at the beginning. And I've got to remember, he didn't write those lines.
No.
He had no choice over the costume. He had to read the script. And in the script, it says, Doctor puts his hand round Perry and starts to strangle him. What are you supposed to do? I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what his doctor's going to be like in the next season, does he? So he's just doing it. So can you really say that's Colin Baker's fault? No.
Yeah, it was so I felt sorry for him because people was left with that episode in the mind because they stuck it on to end of Peter Davison's season. So it was so
I actually met Colin Baker and I had my photo taken with him and he was at a convention. I actually turned around and said that I remember him in The Brothers.
Yeah.
And I actually asked him, did you have to draw on any of the emotions that you did in The Brothers to do the first episode of Doctor Who? Because Doctor Who was your first episode was so jarring.
Yeah.
In The Brothers, you were a mean bastard. You sat behind that desk and you were basically just being horrible to everybody. I mean, you sacked someone. You said, oh, if you're going to be like that, then you can go. Yeah. And I was just thinking, he didn't really, he just turned around and said it's an acting job. Basically, he did the stuff off the script. And that's why I mentioned that just now. You have to feel sorry for it because it's the script.
Yeah.
The script is a stinker.
Yeah.
The person to blame here is actually John Nathan Turner.
John Nathan Turner. Yeah. Actually, he needs to be blamed for a lot more things. John Nathan Turner, yeah.
I mean, I don't know his background on whether he was gay and all of this sort of stuff, really, to be quite honest.
It's the stories. I mean, the stories that he was passing. It was him that was responsible for passing some of those stories.
If you look at that Adventures in Time and Space, where it's Verity Lambert is the producer, it was Sidney Newman that turned around and said, maybe I was wrong in choosing you as the producer. It's your responsibility to make this good.
Yeah.
I give you the money, you go out there and choose the talent, etc., etc. So if you are there as the producer of the show, then basically you've got to make it work. So I give you this money, you've got the Twin Dilemma, make that money work on this script. If you can't do it, then you reject the script because you haven't got the money.
Yeah.
Simple as that, isn't it? Yeah. So it is his fault.
Yeah.
Not Colin Baker's, not anybody.
No, Colin Baker's just doing his job as an actor. That's all he's doing, isn't it? It's quite simple. He's just doing what's he's told. But to be fair, the season does get better. Well, not the season, the next, because it's the next season, because that ended. But I think some of those stories are not as quite as bad as we thought over the years. When I watched them again, I didn't mind them. You know, and the one with the Cybermen.
The full season, the very first full season, is actually got some cracking stories in there.
Yeah, the Cybermen story is good. The Dalek story is good. There's some good stuff. Yeah.
I mean, they always talk about the story being ahead of its time with the TV rating system.
Yeah.
You know, with them being tortured.
Yeah.
That's the second story out. That's the one after the.
Oh, the Varos one.
Vengeance on Varos.
Vengeance on Varos. Yeah, I know that got into a lot of trouble. That story did.
And it's got Sean Connery's son on it, isn't it?
Yeah. They said it was too violent. It was too violent.
Oh, the last one they said was too violent, didn't they? Because you had the assassin going after Davros, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, he had his leg shot off or something. All sorts.
And you see, everybody knows that Michael Grade was looking excuses to cancel Doctor Who, and this just gave him more ammunition.
Any excuse to get rid of it. It was.
Yeah, and there they were. They handed it to him. Yeah, and ratings didn't do that well.
I like that assassin with his legs. I'd have liked him to turn around and say it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, I think Vengeance on Varos is now it's recognised as quite a good satire on now.
Yeah, it's a bit jarring having Davros in that big sort of container. His head spins around 360 degrees. Yeah. I always found that a bit jarring.
That's not Resurrection. What's it called, that Dalek one? So many.
Well, it's where he goes to his own.
Is it Dalek?
He sees his own gravestone, doesn't he?
Is it Resurrection of the Daleks? It could be.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Resurrection of the Daleks. Yeah.
But the thing that amused me was seeing your own gravestone. That must be a bit jarring.
Yeah.
It's set in that funeral home, isn't it? With and I never liked Alexei Sale.
No, it didn't. It doesn't fit in
Rocket. You see, Rocket Bunny's it's Revelation.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's a lot of killing going on. I have to say. I mean, you've got the apprentice, knifing the main person that does all the embalming and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it is pretty violent.
Yeah. It didn't.
But I always liked Davros in his original Dalek mobility machine, not him stuck in a static thing where his head turns around 360 degrees. How's he going to escape?
And the performance of Michael Wisher, the first Davros, is just so good that anybody that followed it afterwards weren't quite as good. The first Davros is just brilliant. Absolutely wonderful.
I found it a great shame. If you look at those documentaries, they turn around and they said they lost the original molds.
Yeah.
And so Davros looked worse. Every time he came back, he looked worse.
Yeah. He looked like he'd really had a bad night on town.
That original Genesis of the Dalek, the makeup on Davros, was absolutely iconic.
Yeah,
I mean, it looked brilliant.
The reason why it's considered one of the greatest Doctor Who stories is because it is. It really is. It's a timeless story that it just stands out, and I think.
I did watch The Ark in Space, by the way, over the weekend.
Oh well, that's another one, isn't it? That's another.
I thought to myself, look, I know how bad that bloody glitter gun and all that sort of shit in the last episode. Is you like it, that Cyberman story? I do like it's bookended. You know, you start off in the space station, you go back into the space station. The Wirral they were iconic as a picture that was on the front cover of Doctor Who annuals and stuff like that. They, you know, those ant-like, those insect-like creatures.
Yeah,
and I never did like the pupil stage where they look like they're bubble wrap with
you
green
can tell that they never revisited them as a monster, so that sometimes says a lot when they're on.
Well, they look better than the bloody moth creatures on the Web Planet. I mean,
no, that's actually I think that's one of the worst Doctor Who episodes. If you were to be picking real bottom of the barrel episodes of Doctor Who, the Web Planet.
Who came up with the great idea of putting Vaseline over the bloody camera lenses to make it look like they're in they're on a planet that's got heavy gravity or something, right? I'm going, that's going to be good when we get to 4K then, having all that Vaseline over.
It's lovely.
Isn't it?
Oh, dear. Anyhow, let's get on now. And then we've got Frank Holder saying, hi, everyone. Hi. Hello, Frank. And we've got Si saying, hi, Frank.
Yeah, hi, Frank. Hi, Frank.
Rocket Bunny saying, hey, Frank. And Jim saying, hi, Frank. And then we've got David saying, Tony, the Ghoul is great. Love those old horrors. Don Anderson was the Ghoul. Oh, fantastic. And then Tony York says, no, Jim, it's the 70s one directed by Freddie Francis. As least I think that's the one David is referring to. You see, that's more up-to-date one. And then, Tony says, hi, Frank. Jim, I see. I love my old horrors. And then Tony says, that's the one, David. I'd forgotten Don Anderson was in it. Didn't see him much in it. And then Frank Calder says, do we know who is the next Bond yet? Weird fact. Peter Purvis of Blue Peter once applied for the Bond role. Did he? That was pretty interesting. But no, I've not heard any announcements at all.
No,
absolutely nothing. But I'm sure we might. All we heard, didn't we, was something about a deal with Amazon. That's all we've heard about the Bond thing, isn't it? There's no title.
I must admit, I don't go to YouTube channels, type in Bond, and find everything about what's going on in the world of Bond. I don't do that.
I think if there was any major announcement, it's the kind of thing that gets into the mainstream news.
It'll be on the 10 o'clock news.
We would know it was the next Bond.
For all I know,
there's no.
For all I know, it's King Charles. For all I know. Yeah. I mean, he was on the news today, so
yeah. Oh dear. And then on the buses, that was Bob Grant. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then Tony says Bob Grant was the conductor in On the Buses. Very tragic story of his. Reg Varney and Stephen Lewis lived to a good old age, as far as I remember.
Yeah, Reg Varney was in an actor's home.
That's right. Yeah.
Stephen Lewis, I can't quite remember what happened to him. I just think he died of natural causes not too long ago.
That's what I was going to say, because I remember we talked about him on here, didn't we?
Yeah,
I remember in one of our chats, I think, when he died. So it was more in recent years, wasn't it? This?
Yeah.
Tony says, great minds, Frank. Yes. Rocket Bunny. With regard to On the Buses, I watched an interview with Stephen Lewis late in his life. I almost didn't recognize him, as he was so happy and relaxed. Amazing actor, playing so morose in the series. Yeah, that is a sign of a good actor. Excellent. He played a miserable character in Summer Wine called Smiler. I like the ironic.
I only watched a couple of episodes with him in. Like, I only watched a couple of episodes, and I think Norman Wisdom was in it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I really, really love the 70s. and I really like the early to mid 80s, and then it changed
Oh
a little bit. I mean, have you watched all the later ones?
no, I've watched. Well, I've got one of the box sets, and I've watched. But
Yeah,
that's
but does
an
it?
earlier
I mean,
one.
does it go all the way up to the 2000s?
No, I haven't got to 2000s. No, I'd
It's
given up
weird. It's
watching it
weird
by
how
then.
it's weird how the summer wine is structured, because if I remember rightly, it was like a 1972, 73 production thing, and then there's a couple of years gaps where
Yeah,
they didn't do a series, but they counted it as not being cancelled, so it basically is a continuation. But it's something like it went to 74, then it was 76, 77, then it was 79, and all of this sort of stuff.
yeah.
It's really weird. If I
And
remember
Peter
rightly.
Sallis was in the last episode, wasn't he? They recorded,
Yeah.
but he was very ill. He was very ill, apparently.
Yeah.
And it was quite difficult. But he was in the very last episode. But by then it had changed so much, hadn't it? It wouldn't recognise it really.
I think everybody recognises Last of the Summer Wine as the main three. Where you've got, you got Compo and Clegg, and because when you change the main actor,
Foggy Dewars is all right. I liked him. He was quite a main one. He was after Clegg. Yeah. But when it started to change even more,
well, they must have changed that central character 3 times.
Yeah,
3 or 4 times. And every time I see a picture of the Last of the Summer Wine, they always show the old one.
Yeah.
He's the one that everybody remembers as being the leader, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Grin and laughing at him because he's always a obnoxious character. And that's whenever you change a character like that, you bring someone in, you just go, well, it was supposed to be these 3 because they were childhood boys, that did all of this.
Reliving their sort of.
Where did you come from? That's what I kept looking at. I kept going, where did you come from? Yeah. Why weren't you in those stories in the background, or in the pub or in the cafe or whatever,
Was it Russ Abbott who appeared in it as well?
Oh, he was in it as well.
Yeah. I mean, it was really getting quite ridiculous. Some of the people they were putting in. It was like giving them a second lease of life, I suppose, as actors have disappeared.
I mean, I suppose there's only so many times you can see somebody put an engine on a bath and have it go down down a path in the middle of Yorkshire. And be funny, if you see what I mean. Norman Wisdom was, I thought, quite unfunny.
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad, isn't it? Because Norman Wisdom was the sort of guy, when you saw him, you laughed before he'd even say anything.
Oh, Christ.
Not many comedians can do that. You can actually start laughing at him before, but that is quite sad. I don't even remember him in Last of the Summer Wine. I probably won't watching it.
I think they had him as a boxer or something. I can't remember. He was definitely running around with his vest on.
And he would have been quite old because he lived.
Oh, he would have been, yeah.
Really was, yeah. They're very sad. Yeah. And then Rocket Bunny says, his natural personality is so different. Amazing actor. That's Stephen Lewis, isn't it? Yeah. And then Rocket Bunny says, long play on VHF. Quality was so bad, you would have been better getting someone to hand draw the program for you. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, I had a Panasonic with 6 heads. No, it had 12. And if you put that had just long play on it, it didn't have extended play.
Yeah.
And that was really good because it had a super still with a jog wheel where you could actually jog the picture forward to do editing. Oh. That had a really good picture, but I do recognize long play was bloody awful on certain play. So much interference. It was almost like it's like somebody had recorded over the tape about 50 times.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Awful. It's like a snowy picture. It's hard to explain. It's like somebody.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah,
couldn't quite tune the channel in correctly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you had to use the horizontal hold and things like that. You know, they called it the tracking, didn't they?
The tracking. That's what I heard when I used to go for the rental. Go to the shop and get some. Well, actually, there were the rental at our local corner shop, and they always said, "Oh, it's just use the tracking. That's all you do." And these had been used loads and loads of times locally, and they were all up and down all the time.
I tell you what, Rocket Bunny, I'm having too much fun, and I tell you what, I bet you any money we're going to be here till 12 if we don't get cracking along with these. And I've got to get up at 6:30 in the morning.
Recorded standard original series on Star Trek original series on Betamax tapes when broadcast on BBC Two.
Yeah, it was
on Wednesday evenings. Amazing. Every episode is now available on discs, taping up the same space as 1 or 2 tapes. That is so right. You think of all the tapes you had, and now
I had the lot, and I had the lot. I really did. And the Next Generation, and
when they first came out to buy, I had all of them, and
they all had a little picture, and when you put the spine across, it was like,
and
they didn't do that with the Star Trek original series, but they did do that with the Next Generation, and
But the original series, they started releasing them to buy, I think, much later on in the I don't know whether it was in the 2nd or 3rd season. They were later on. They didn't start from the beginning, but they must have caught up when I saw them anyhow. I used to go in.
Mine were the Star Trek boxes with the stripy lines and the one picture that was on there, and it said on the spine the 2 episodes. That's all it had. It just had 2 episodes like this with Star Trek at the top, but the main picture was always. It was a stripy line thing. He had a picture center of it with like Kirk, like in battling Spock or something, right? And it would have the 2 episodes. And I always remembered buying the magazines that told you whether it was a good episode or not. It says, yes, this month we've got this coming out. The first episode is Spock's brain. What a piece of shit. And then the second episode redeems the tape and makes it worth buying because it's I
remember the first one I bought was they were all out, and I bought it was Errand of Mercy and the City on the Edge of Forever.
City on the Edge of Forever.
I had to get the City on the Edge of Forever, and I think it was Errand of Mercy that was. Then
they have some weird titles. For the world is hollow and I have touched the sky. I mean, what a title that is.
Yeah.
I mean, Krusty had some titles.
It did. It's a great series that I'm looking forward to revisiting.
I go back to it time and time again. I could talk about it now that I probably
can't wait to start watching it again. It's something it's definitely in the pipeline at some time on my channel. So I've got to watch it. I've got to watch it again. Anyhow, Sai says, has anyone seen the trailer for Backrooms? It looks really, really creepy.
I have not. No,
it sounds good. Definitely. And then Rocket Bunny says, yeah, Tony, I remember the transition from video to digital. All those series that took up so many shelves just means we can buy even more now. That's true. But even now I'm complaining, you start buying more.
Until you get to the position of Muckman, and then basically he's got no bloody... all his shelves are buckling, apparently. There you go.
All the heaviness of all those steel books.
Yeah. Oh. They're all bowed. And he's going, what am I going to do now? Look, got to replace the wood in half of them.
Oh, the wall. Damaged the wall.
Reinforced metal studs keeping them in the plane.
Yeah.
Anyway, stop laughing. We got to get on. You can't blame this on me now.
I've noticed in many of my series when they run out of ideas, you do get dream sequence episodes. Even in Dad's Army, I don't think they'll understand the actual question. Dad's Army, that have a dream sequence episode? I can't remember. I haven't seen that for years. I don't know.
Well, if I didn't understand the actual question, I think we got quite away with it. So,
yeah. And then Rocket Bunny, problem with Travis actor. Oh, Travis acting Blake 7 is his personality changed completely. Stephen Giff was very subtle, whereas Brian Croucher was like a bull in a china shop. So actually, that's a very good. That's
interesting. Yeah.
True. That's. I think that's true. It's a good. I've not thought of it, but that's right. Yeah. Rocket Bunny, with regard to replacing actors, such a shame that Richard Harris died after only the first 2 Potter films. Gambon is so bland compared with Harris. No charisma or screen presence. Yeah, Richard Harris. Sadly.
Yeah. Do you think Gambon dialed it in? I'm not so sure of that, but he is bland compared.
Yeah. And then Rocket Money. Del, have you watched Adam Savage's YouTube videos unboxing a huge die-cast motion picture model? It's fully lit and is utterly gorgeous. I strongly recommend you watch it if you haven't. So
well, the answer to that is I haven't seen Adam Savage's video, but there are literally, well, no, I won't say literally because that's the wrong word. There are a ton of YouTube videos of people that have bought this die-cast motion picture model. Right, it came up in my sort of alert box loads of times, and I tell you what, it's a humongous model. I think one person did mention how much it cost. I think it was like $600 or $700 or something like that. It comes with a stand. It's got I think it's got a Galileo fit that you sort of like slot together. It is a gorgeous thing. I wanted it until I saw the price. I went,
yeah,
shit,
big difference.
Right.
Yeah,
no, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and I was so happy for the people that have got it because they display it because it comes along after the other models have been done. So you've got the oldish like Enterprise one, you've got the motion picture one now, you've got the Model A that's there, and they're all around about the same. They're done to the same scale, which means that you see the difference in regards to how the original Enterprise was and what this one was, which is where you're saying, Christ, it's 2/3 larger. So how can you say it's the original Enterprise? It's been refitted. The only thing that they've kept of it is like the bloody corner of the rec room or something. That's about the only thing that's left. That's left of the original Enterprise. That's all you've got. Or the captain's chair makes it the original or something. You know what I mean? So you do see the size difference and you just go, wow. But thanks very much for pointing out, because I'll probably look out for that. Adam Savage. I will write it down. Because I saw a number of them. Some of them, I was scared when they were opening it up.
Oh.
You know, how they were handling it to take it out the styrene. Jesus. Adam Savage. Got it. Written it down.
Right, I'll go on to the next one then. David said, I think Jaws should be in any 70s list. I can understand that totally. A personal favourite of mine was Watership Down, 1978. Yeah, I think Watership Down is absolutely brilliant. Again, I thought of that. I remember I read the book before the film. So I knew the film would have to really be good to capture that book, and it did. The darkness of the book as well is reflected in the film, and that's why it's one of the great all-time great animated films. I think I can say that. It's definitely one of the all-time great ones. Brilliant film. And then 50s is easy. Oh, here we are. 10 Kurosawa films. How did we not guess that?
Yeah. Name 10 films that aren't foreign in that. Oh no, I'll do.
Sai says 12 Angry Men is the greatest 50s film for me. See, everybody's already got clicked into thinking even in 50s.
I won't turn around and say that's not wrong. 12 Angry Men is a fantastic film.
Yeah. And
There's
then
things like there are things like Run Silent, Run Deep. That's a 50s, I think.
Yeah, there's all sorts when you start looking a bit closer. The original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which I think is superb, is a 1950s film. But anyhow, we Bob Art says, night all, we'll watch in the catch up. Well, thank you. You're watching now on the catch up. Thank you, anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still here, you miserable sob.
We're still
while
here.
you were sleeping, we were still
Mm.
chatting like this.
And then Si says, night, we Bob. And then Tony says, night, Bob. And then good night, Bob, Rocket Bunny says. And then Si says, have you seen that there's a remake in the works of the 1981 film Obsession? Margaret Qualley and Callum Turner in the roles of Isabel Adjani and Sam Neill.
Yeah. I didn't know. I have seen Obsession, the original.
Oh, I've not seen Obsession. It sounds like something I should see.
I think I saw it at the same sort of time as Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile and all of those, because they were all big, weren't they? Those early 80s Agatha Christie films that you saw at the cinema. They were all done by Canon or something like that.
Yeah.
I think Obsession got caught up in all of that.
Oh, and Sam Neill's a decent actor, isn't he? He's a good actor.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about last week the portable door, you know.
So they're doing a remake then. Oh,
right.
That's it. I need to see the first one. Didn't that get a recent release? Was it on one at
I'm trying to think who was in it. Hang on. Who was in Obsession in 1981? Hang on. Because we know
Isabel Adjani and Sam Neill. They must have been in it.
So in the original 1981, yeah. Oh no, that's Possession. Obsession, I want.
Obsession. Obsession. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if there has been a release.
There isn't a 1981 film of Obsession.
Oh.
There is Possession. Yeah, there's a 1949 film, Obsession.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, 2025 film. The film follows Bear, played by Michael Johnston, a music store employee who buys a supernatural toy.
Right. Okay, let's move on as we get in behind. James says, Seven Samurai is my top 50s film side, closely followed by 12 Angry Men. You mean Possession, Sam, James?
Oh, there you are. I've just said about that. I said I found Possession.
Yeah. So I said Seven Samurai will probably be my second place. It's such a great film. I do, Jamie. I'm old. Yeah, we're all old.
I don't know what I was thinking of then when I was talking about the Agatha Christie films. I'm sure I saw something that was similar along those lines with that sort of title, but I must have been thinking of something.
Obsession is a new horror film out soon. So
yeah, I've just read out about supernatural toy.
Yeah. Del, there are video tutorials on YouTube showing you how to change bed sheets with someone in bed.
YouTube's full of those sort of things. But I tell you what, you learn so much from the carers. When we had all these different carers that come in, one carer would do it one way and another carer would do it another way, and one of them had less turns of the body compared to the other person, because what you have to think about here is I don't want my mum to be uncomfortable where she has to keep turning on her side and then turning the other side and then turning the other side. Some of these carers put one leg on and one arm through on the pajamas, and then when you turned it, you put the other arm in and then the other leg in and all of this sort of stuff. I counted it up. There was one set of carers that turned my mum's body left and right 12 times, and there's one that only did it 5. Now, why is it that one does it this way and it's 12, which must have been bloody uncomfortable for somebody that's got rods in their legs, and the other one did it 5 turns? It's like, why didn't that person teach the other one that you only have to turn someone 5 times if you do it this way? And this is where you just learn, isn't it, while you're on the road?
Yeah.
This is where you've got different experienced people.
That's right, yeah.
So it's great that the YouTube videos, she's actually showed me how you change the bed sheet. You actually have to put all 3 corners on, and then the 4th one you do when she's turned over, you stretch the other one and it does it. You could do the other 3 sheets because you don't have to touch the body. They're made of elastic around the edges. So basically it would be diagonal, but it wouldn't. It would be round her back. And as soon as you turn her, it would release one side and you just attach the 4th on the back. There you are. That's how you do it. So I know that because she showed me.
Yeah.
Yeah. YouTube videos are great, but having somebody there doing it.
Oh, you can't beat a practical demonstration.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then Si says, I know what you're going through, Del. I went through it with my mum. It's a tough ride.
Yeah, thank you so much, Si. I mean, I literally do, and I do use that word properly this time, literally, speak to my mum about you.
Yeah.
So there's this guy called Si, he's a right sod.
I'm sorry. I bet you wouldn't dare say that to your mum.
No. Tell you what, she actually rinsed my mouth out with soap once because I used a swear word.
Yeah.
This was back in the 70s.
Yeah.
You could get away with that.
I bet you don't tell her that you keep using the word bastard a lot on there.
No, it's just I picked on this word. I picked on this word that I heard my dad say to my mum one night when I was supposed to be asleep. And then I used it. My mum said, where did you hear that word? And I said, I just heard it. And she said, well, don't ever say it again. So I repeated it 5 times. Went, So then she got hold of me, got this soap. I think it was what was it? It was that one with the little square label on it.
Oh, Imperial leather.
Imperial leather. She cut it in half and rubbed it into my teeth.
Oh, go. There you are. And you never said it again.
Disgusting.
You knew exactly. Yeah. Right. This is a very difficult question. My brain, I don't know whether I could do this one, but anyhow.
Christ, how much time have we got?
True, with British actors, actresses. Who would you choose? Go. But I mean, that is just. I could cheat. There's already been one, which is Simon Pegg in the remakes.
I'd have. I think Sean Connery as Kirk.
Yeah, I could have. I've just looked below. Yeah, but I could have James Mason in somewhere. I don't know who playing who, but I could have James Mason. Yeah, he's put as Kirk, but I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, I didn't look at all the stuff there, but I said Bruce Lee as Sulu.
Yeah. Yes, that's interesting. Yeah.
Anyway, we better keep moving on.
Yeah, because
it's now 25 to 12.
Yeah, sometimes we could do with these questions a bit earlier on.
Look, I tell you what, just choose Kirk and Spock. Go on.
I can't choose Kirk and
Spock. I'll choose Sean Connery as Kirk and Christopher Lee as Spock.
Oh, that's a great choice. Yeah.
I'll tell you what would be fun, right? Name the original series used as the Carry On team.
Oh, crikey. Yeah.
Just think you'd have Sid James as Kirk, wouldn't you? Who would be Spock? I suppose you'd have Kenneth Williams, wouldn't you, as Spock?
Yeah.
You know, anyway, Peter Butterworth.
I could have Liam Neeson. I could put him in Star Trek. Why not?
Yeah, but why?
I don't know which character, but I will put
it only turn around and say that he's got a certain set of skills and he's going to go around.
He's going to say he's going to be tracking Khan. He'll be after Khan, won't he? He could keep doing that. James Mason as Kirk. Yeah, he's having a laugh there. Yeah. Oh, I'd have Stanley Baxter play Scotty. God, that's an interesting thing. Yeah. And then we've got Tony Hawk, Susan George as Uhura. Hey, Susan George. Stanley Baxter as Scotty. Yeah. At least he's actually Scottish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great minds. And then having a laugh there. And then I'm trying to get my head around Susan George playing Uhura. Well, there we are. Peter Cushing as McCoy. I forgot about Michael Ripper as Chekhov and Christopher.
That's inspired.
Michael Ripper.
Christopher Lee as Sulu.
Yeah.
He was short. Christopher Lee's about 6'9" or something.
I forgot. Sorry, Tony, I forgot. Michael Ripper did appear in the Taste the Blood of Dracula. He was a rather incompetent inspector playing a police role, so he did pop up in that.
I'll tell you one actor who would not fit in anywhere, and that's Vincent Price.
Oh, he's too big. He's too sort of.
No, but I mean, he's not an action person for Kirk. He's not I just look at it and I go, he couldn't be the communication. He couldn't be the engineer. He couldn't. No. I look at it. I suppose he could be the doctor. I don't know.
No. I suppose the doctor might be the nearest he could try and play, but it'd be all dramatic, wouldn't he, as a doctor? Anyhow, good picks, everyone. Michael Caine as Kirk.
Yeah,
maybe. And then, actually, Roger Moore would make a good Kirk.
He'd probably make a better spot with his eyebrows moving up and down. He's not got to show emotion, you see.
As a serious choice, perhaps Stanley Baker. Yes, we've got to get Stanley Baker, not Baxter as Kirk. Oh, yeah, Stanley Baker would have been great. Yeah. Sean Connery as Scotty. Stanley Baker as Spock. No, I don't see that. Michael Caine as Kirk. Billy Connolly as Scotty. Alan Rickman as Spock. Floella Benjamin as Uhura. Hugh Laurie as McCoy. Rowan Atkinson as Chekhov. Rowan
Atkinson.
Stick with Sulu. Any ideas, anyone? If I saw Rowan Atkinson, I couldn't take them seriously. That's the problem. I'd be laughing already.
I must admit, Billy Connolly is brilliant, but I don't like Billy Connolly. It's one of those things where he's been on stage and I've not laughed. It's not my type of humor, Billy Connolly, funnily enough. And I'm sorry to say that to people because I know how beloved he is. And
he is. He's very loved, isn't he? Yeah.
But I look, he kept doing these skits on a stage, and I was going, these stories are taking an age for him to actually tell.
Yeah.
And I'm getting bored.
Oh dear.
And it's funny because I've seen him in Columbo, and he's great in that and all of that sort of stuff. But I found his on-stage comedy not really that funny. He was talking about his pubic hairs and all of this sort of stuff growing as long as his beard. And I was going, is this funny?
Right.
But I suppose that's the great thing about us all. We can all turn around and say, do you know what? What's funny for one is not funny for another. And I bet you any money if I watched it again, I'd find it hilarious.
Yeah. And then so we've got Rocket Bunny laughing there, and then we've got David Yip.
From the Chinese Detective.
Yeah.
Yip. Yeah.
Naomi Harris as Suhara. Yeah, why not? And then Billy Connolly would be a Brill Scotty. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of support there. Burt Walk. Oh, he's in everything as Sulu. Oh, poor Burt Walk. Everywhere. He was the only one that they could cast at one time. I'm guessing that Billy Connolly Scotty would be the Quentin Tarantino version of
I was going to say, because he swears a lot, doesn't he?
Yes. Yeah. Tony, I knew you, Tony. Burt Walk was the default Oriental character in so many films and TV series as he would just pop up everywhere.
When you consider that Bruce Lee was in the Green Hornet and things like that, I just thought, wow, he could be Scotty then, couldn't he? Could be Sulu, couldn't he?
Yeah. Benedict Wong for Sulu. He was in Doctor Strange and Sunshine.
He was.
Yeah. And then you've got Bruce Lee, laugh out loud. And then he's not British, you're being told.
Yeah, but some of those other people that they were listed there weren't.
Was Jacqueline Pierce in Hammer's Plague of the Zombies, Ian, that you mentioned in your watches a few weeks ago, and not the goal. Don't remember you ever reviewing that. In Plague of the Zombies, she's not in that one. It's the Ghoul and the Reptile that she's in. Yeah, she's in the Reptile. Yeah, it's the Ghoul and the Reptile. And then refreshed L, we are up to 9. There's 10 likes today. Well, that's something. That's good. Thank you. Thank you for everybody that's done that. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Now do the last 106 laugh out loud. Okay, the last one must have been a guilt, forgotten one. Who did it? Oh, no. Muckman Movies won ages ago. And then they're having a good laugh there. First thing I do to any stream I watch, always thank for creators making the effort. Thank you, Rocket Bunny.
Really nice.
That is very nice of you. Thank you.
I just the reason I did it is that I do want your channel to grow in. I just noticed that in certain, even on my blogs, right, there are 10 comments and I've got 5 likes.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I get.
And I just don't understand how well.
I think people forget maybe to do it, and that's why you have to keep reminding people. I think.
Well, I don't. You see, that's the one thing I don't do in my blog. I never say please like, please subscribe.
Yeah.
I do none of that.
Sometimes maybe near the end, you could just slip it in. Sometimes just say, "Oh, if you've enjoyed me going on, just why not give me a like and just be honest and say it just helps my channel." Doing that, there's nothing wrong in saying that.
I suppose I could. It's one of those things where I just go, do you know what? People that have commented, I bet you they've liked. But I just noticed that I did this the other day. I looked and I went, well, no, the likes are less than the comments.
Yeah.
So that means that some of the people that have commented have probably forgotten to hit the like button.
Yeah, I think it's easy to forget. Yeah.
But I will say this: is David Yip British?
Oh, I don't know. It might be. It could be. I don't know.
I'm just going back to McMahon going.
Yeah. He says he doesn't like peer pressure, and he's laughing. He's a bit of a rebel lad. Hey, I usually do I
want them to earn it.
I want them to earn it. Thank you. Yeah, we do. We try and earn it, don't we? And then Ian and Del, that was a joke. No, we know, Si. We know that.
Even the criticism I know are jokes. Don't worry about it.
I only thumbs up after receiving a sufficient amount of rants. You get plenty of rants against you. Usually not at this end of the live stream. They're all at the beginning. He has to get it out of his system, and that's when you get them. I want to see a dance number from them to earn their. Well, you'll have a long wait, mate. You'll have a very long wait, lad. Like Pan's People. Oh, crikey. Don't mention Pan's People. Whoa. Yeah. Pan's People. Fantastic. Our Gossip. Those are the days going back. Then here we are, Rocket Bunny, Twin Dilemma, casting director. Okay, we have 2 kid actors, however, there's a problem. They can't pronounce words starting with R. What shall we call them? Romulus and Remus. Perfect. I understand your sarcasm.
Yeah, but he's spot on, and you have to understand on this. Is that a problem with the casting director, or was it the script? Because the script is usually there, and then the casting director comes along and says, "Are we going to put these in?"
Yeah, it's the casting director.
It might be quite difficult to find 2 twins that are actors.
That's
I remember rightly, the documentary talks about this. These kids had never acted in their lives, had they? They just come out of them.
Yeah. But normally you should be able to find some twins, I would have thought. I would have thought they should have outstretched their resources. I'm sure they could have done. Anyhow, but there we are. And they're laughing there, yeah. And then that reminds me of the old joke. Why isn't Roy Hodgson the manager of Bayern Munich? Because he keeps calling their star player Frank Wibbery.
If I knew more about football, I'd probably get that.
Revelation, yeah.
The Daleks.
Revelation of the Daleks, yeah. Michael Wisher was exceptional, yeah. Terry Malloy is pretty good, but so much better in his Big Finish audios. Just gone on BFI site Big Finish site and listen to the trailer for Davros. His performance is chilling. Well,
I've actually got Big Finish production stuff, and he actually is. Good. I mean, Terry Malloy. I mean,
Yeah. And then Rocky Bunny, the same story also stars Bernard Horsfall, who was another regular staple in Doctor Who, playing Barusa in Deadly Assassin. Yes, yeah. That's some great ones. Sai says, I'd love to see Jacob Elordi play the Bond. Yes, he's an Australian, but I think he's got charisma to play the role. Well, why not? If they've got the charisma and they could do it, then why not? Yeah. We've had George Lazenby.
Well, yeah.
Australian, yeah. I know that'll get a lot of people backs up saying, no, you can't have, you've got to be British, he's got to be British. But, we've had George Lazenby. Rocket Money, Last of the Summer Line in the 70s and 80s was great watching as a kid. But I always felt a little sad as it was on Sunday when it came on. You realised it was back to school in the morning.
It was.
Sunday feeling. That awful Sunday feeling.
It was the same for a number of shows. I knew that one. There was Spitting Image. That was on a Sunday.
Oh, Spitting Image, yes. Yeah.
You just knew that kids would be reciting things out of Spitting Image in the school playground.
Mind you,
and if you didn't watch it, it was like, oh, you're not allowed to stay up there past 9 o'clock or whatever it was. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Last of the Summer Wine, that would be another one. I remember on Sunday there was things like Highway to Heaven. There was all sorts of stuff. I think there was Little House on the Prairie. That was another Sunday show. Walton's was a Monday on BBC Two, if I remember rightly.
Oh, what was the name of that Australian guy who I used to really like, who was a satire? Clyde? Was it Clyde?
Clive James.
Clive James. I associate
he always ended his show with a Chinese game show with people having to eat sheep brains and things.
Yeah, that's right. But he was spot on with his satire. He was really sharp. I liked him. Yeah. Now that would remind me of school. I think definitely. Yeah, those awful weekends. I hated going to school that morning. And then I hated it even more because I had to go and work at Morrison's at night. I had to do a Monday shift. Not only did I do Thursday, Friday, and nights, but Saturday, all day Saturday. So I used to dread that having to go in on a Monday.
Anyway, we'll have to get cracking now, Ian, I think.
Yeah. I know what you mean, Rocket Bunny. Every time Compo went down a hill in a bath meant bath time for school tomorrow.
And it always reminds me that of did you have a tin bath? Because I
no, fortunately I can say I can't remember tin baths. I know
I reckon you're lying there.
I can't remember them. Sorry, just say the same. Apologies, cheers, guys.
Just all the time.
We all had to use the same water. I went for all them jokes as well.
Yeah.
And put heater on. And,
how many kettlefuls of water do you do for that?
Yeah. Si said he meant possession. That remember when we were on about that film.
Yeah, but I found possession. I said to you, I can't find anything.
Midnight, here we come. Sorry, we're trying to hurry up now. Donald Pleasance would be a good Bones. Quite interesting choice. David Yip is from Liverpool.
Yeah, he looked it up. He said,
yeah, and then laugh out loud. I was kidding, and I had to look it up. Well, why not? Laugh out loud, and then Muckman, Reet, I'm off to bed. Cheers, guys. Enjoy rest of your week. Thanks, lad.
Yeah. Muckman, thank you so much, and thank you so much for all of the entertainment that you give us in your videos.
Yeah. And I hope things get better with your what's happened.
Oh, your leg,
they don't get too painful. Yeah. Good night, all. Thanks. Good night, Tony. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, cheers,
you little shit. Every week. Yeah, thank you so much.
Cheers, you little shit. Yeah.
And Si says, nighty night, guys. Cheers for the movie chat. And thanks to Ian and Delboy for tonight's stream. Entertaining as always. And the usual obligatory shout out to Mrs. Del. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Si always brings a tear to my eye at the end, I'll tell you.
Thank you so much. That's what can we say? But thank you, everybody that's joined us. As always, it's you that makes all this. We enjoy doing it so much every week, and we'll always be doing it every week. I don't care what anybody says. We will be here next week, still going on, still doing the same old stuff.
As always, I got a lot wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's part of the fun. We both make mistakes. We're not perfect, and we don't want to be perfect. So that's all right. But we've got to get moving. So you do your farewells.
I just say it's goodbye from me.
And it's good night from him.
Good night. But I just want to say thanks to everybody. And as anybody who knows me, I'm a big Frank. I'm just a big fan of Up Pompeii. Frankie Howard, brilliant. So salute, everybody. Salute.
And all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.
Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.